Hello, welcome to MMB Live. We have topics.
I hope so.
Callie, stop it.
Starting
Callie.
strong. We have topics.
We have topics.
We have Brian. Hey, Brian.
We have panelists.
Hey, Brian.
And we're on a live stream.
We got dogs. We got raptors. It's a freaking
Callie.
circus in here.
She messed up my... I forgot what I was going to say because of the dog.
You said we had topics.
I'm just waking up.
Clickbait.
I know I
thumbnails
look
again?
like fresh. No, it's not actually. It's actually really legit, and I do care. I'm not just hating on the industry.
That's a legit picture of a man alone in the theater.
Well, I think I'm gonna do a parallel to the toy industry, how they did the same thing over and over and over again. And guess what? There's no more Toys R Us. There's still toys. There's still dolls. Oh, blew your mind, didn't I?
No, because Amazon. Didn't Amazon kill Toys R Us?
No.
No.
The stupid tactics.
Yeah, I did.
In excuses.
Yeah.
In the excuses that, there's just people are just on their phones all the time.
Automation changes the taste
Oh
of
my
preferences.
God, here's Brian.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't need to fight now. I don't need to.
And he's gonna be like, "You're sticking up for the man." I'm like, "Shut the fuck."
Whoa! Right at the beginning, you're gonna give me
I'm
demonetized.
alive? Oh my goodness! Hi, everybody.
The man? Yeah, you are sticking up for the man, Brian. The man.
I got a bad case of sticking to the maniosis.
It's very comparable to the toy industry. It's not going to go away. It's just going to shrink if they don't get it together. And this is actually a positive thumbnail.
What? Really?
Yeah, because that means that there is. Let me bring it up here. There is this potential of an audience. Barbenheimer proved it. That's potential customers. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Bruce.
Hello.
Well, what is the BS? Like, where's this coming from?
People that go to the movies are the ones that put up with BS.
Yeah, customers that still. I'm one of those customers.
That's me.
The movie theater tomorrow.
That's a picture of me.
I really think this is the pool of customers. I don't think people have gone away. They're just waiting for something that they want or something that's new and refreshing, like Barbenheimer. And
isn't this time of year a slow movie going?
No, I'm tired of excuses. If there's a good movie, people, if you build it, they will come.
I'm not giving you excuses. I'm going to give you reasons why it sucks.
It's the things we've seen before.
I dare you to say this.
The reason I got on this topic is yesterday's show. Yesterday's show, the Daredevil showrunner revealed something very interesting to me. That there's lots of reason for reboots and continue, and stopping and starting again is to cancel all the contracts. And my main issue, not just with the Snyderverse, with all of Hollywood, is that they just stop things without resolving storylines. They just leave things, loose threads out there. And then that project, all the seasons of it just become irrelevant, where it could have been like an evergreen product if they just gave some finality to this, to the story. And then you could license it out to other streamers. Well, with this show, it was canceled after 4 seasons, but they gave a final season. At least even if they cut it short, they gave some finality to it where it's a product that you could continually show, sell, and have some interest in. Where all these projects just get cut off. Mm-hmm. They just give up, start over. Well, it's a little bit tough here. The seas we're getting a little wavy here. We're not getting,
I don't think that would happen.
Pull the plug.
I don't think that would happen. No.
That is the tactic that the toy and the doll industry did too, and other industries do as well.
But
and I think people are just, I just personally, I think people are sick of it. I'm going to still go.
Sick of what?
The cycle.
Sick of like
the cycle.
No.
The cycle. This is what a lot of these industries do. They see profits dip some. They panic. They pull the plug. they reboot, they do whatever, and it's just a cycle that repeats.
Because they always got that starter. Because they're looking for that starter money, and they see the profits down, and they could see that we could get money back up if we just restarted again.
Bruce, you collect action figures, right? As well, Bruce. Did I lose you? He doesn't like my topic.
That was my quick review.
Well, I was going to say, if you're an action figure collector, a lot may experience this where the toy manufacturer, Hasbro, Mattel, they get to a line, they start going to other characters besides, like, take DC, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They start getting other characters. They see the profits of the line start to dip, and they cancel the line and restart it with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman every time.
Is this just for DC, man?
No, this is for all.
No, because there's so many things that do finish. There's so many things that do end.
What percentage of actual stories get completed on these?
I don't know, but I think it's more or less going to even out the same as any other time in media history. Like, more like shows get canceled all the time. Some become cult classics. Alf ended like terribly, right? They just got ended out of nowhere. It's just, that's what happens.
I'm going to
some shows make it, some shows don't.
CJH, I said I'm one of the ones going to go in the theater. And you know who got me back to the theater? Bruce, Joe, Rhea. That's who got me back to the theater.
You would have called. That would have been calling me out a week ago, but because I wasn't interested in the creator because of the trailers, but the reviews have been so good.
And I got my tickets for tomorrow night for Expendables 4 because I want to support
Megan Fox
action stars that from the 80s, especially since I'm a VHS collector. I'm very serious about this topic. I was thinking about it all. I was like, what can we talk about? Well, I'll do a custom topic based on what we learned from the Daredevil creator last night. Yeah, this is a cycle that repeats. I recognize the cycle.
So why are you upset at?
It's a cycle of what? I think people are tired of the cycle.
No.
But something new comes along.
What cycle is what Joe is at?
When you say after the Barbenheimer thing, right?
Yeah.
We just had Barbenheimer. How can you say people are like?
That's something new, refreshing.
Yeah, sure.
And people supported it. And there's
Mario.
A huge audience in Mario. Yeah, that's something new.
Yeah, sure.
But stuff
but we just had that. But we just had that, and you're already making this thing. It's like, can you give
existing IPs?
Can you give it some time before theaters are dying again?
The Nun 2 is killing it.
Yeah, the Nun 2, which is a horror sequel. It's like the same thing.
The Red Door killed it.
That's another.
The Red Door. Yeah. It's the same as if you look at any time in the 80s, 70s, you're gonna find stuff like this too. Some movies make it, some movies don't. Some franchise gets canceled.
Yeah, that's the cycle that they've done. All now, there's just more options for entertainment and people.
But then you're saying people are tired, tired of. But you still get Barbenheimers on those decades too. It's like that is part of the cycle too.
That's new.
Yeah, but getting something new is part of the cycle. You get something new.
Brian's tired of the cycle. Everything. He's tired of the superhero cycle. He's like, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, so he's concentrating on what he does like, which is Ahsoka right now.
Yeah, which is amazing.
He's not complaining about.
Review of Ahsoka is one of the best episodes of Star Wars I've ever seen in my entire life. You can mark your words on that one. Okay.
Until they show the last episode.
Until the next one comes out that I absolutely love. Anyways.
Hey, can this be a Picard for you? Where it's so good for you that you're done with Star Wars for a bit.
Yes, nothing can. It just set the bar that high to where can possibly eclipse it.
Let's go, Filoni. Let's do it.
But no, did people have this kind of energy with vaudeville?
Yeah, when they lost their favorite vaudevillian or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh.
Continue the story of the juggler.
The traveling circus isn't going to come through this
Continue the clown story.
We've got this new fandangled invention called a television.
Well, I could imagine people were upset about it, especially small towns.
Here's the cycle, Joe.
Yeah.
The cycle is that they don't get as much profits as they want, or the profits dip a little bit. Instead of working on what they have, they pull the plug and just do something else, just start over.
Like what?
Because why keep sinking money into the same hole, dude?
That destroys confidence. You're just going to start. You're never going to finish anything.
Why didn't it destroy? Okay, no, not always.
Civil War
was so bad out
Civil War didn't destroy confidence once
this
they.
This is 100% about DC. Max is just freaking bloviating.
Yeah, it is DC.
I'm telling you right now.
Max. Well, that smile was so evil, Max. That smile was so evil.
Actually, now that you mention it,
might as well pull up the banner early.
Max, that smile was evil and
deviant. All right, people.
Here
Max
we go.
just presented us all, and I figured it out with 11 minutes into the stream.
You're not getting them back.
What was canceled that you wanted to see?
Snyderverse. That's not what it's always about. Like they did this.
Since you're on the subject, hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. Shout out to everyone.
Max, I think the new bit should be every time you're going to go into like this Snyder stuff, you should just put on the mask again. And he's like, I tricked you. You put on the mask.
I'm back.
It's like, and you just dive into everything again.
I wasn't going to drink beer till the weekend.
Warm beer.
But you know what? I need a beer.
Why is that beer like rust color?
Dude, he's like a movie Red Pillar over here.
I just explained the cycle. The toy industry does it too. I was going to ask Bruce, but he didn't respond.
He's like a movie Red Pillar. He's like, I see the Matrix.
I was on a phone call with corporate. Sorry.
Oh
no. Listen. Okay, why continue to spend money on something that doesn't work?
Exactly. The consumer shouldn't spend money on something that doesn't work.
Why should the studio continue?
And that's why they didn't. And that's why they're rebooting.
That doesn't work. That's why they do the cycle.
Because the consumer didn't spend the money.
The man. Brian defended the man. Master defended the man.
You act like this is something
me off
new.
So much right now, dude.
How many shows in this?
Fuming.
You're fuming?
Oh, that's fucking good.
How many shows in the 70s, 80s, and 90s were canceled after one season?
It
happened.
Man.
Look what happened to Alf. Poor Crazy Joe. At the end, Alf like that.
Bruce, you know about
Crazy Joe was having nightmares of what the government was doing to Alf for years.
You know about this from collecting action figures. Once they start getting to the supplemental characters and the sales start dipping, they pull the plug a lot of times.
Oh man, you mean just like they do with movies?
Yeah, and shows.
Wait, why waste money on something that's not selling?
And video games.
Because that's the cycle. It's repeated so much that it's.
But what do you mean people aren't going in? People are going.
I think they burned too many
People are going. People are going. But people are going though.
That's not true, Max.
Okay, but being something new is part of the cycle. There's a cycle, and then something new comes out, and then there's an Alien, and then there's a freaking James Cameron Terminator, and then there's something new and fresh, and then that becomes part of the cycle until something new comes up again.
Okay, you're just
all right.
The facts that I'm giving to you.
Look at the Madden
what are the
series.
facts?
You're just pointing out observable details, Max.
Look what Brucifer said. The Nun 2, which is a horror sequel, the same part of the same system, same cycle.
I said horror's an anomaly. The horror community is amazing. They support a lot of things.
You can't have caveats.
You're damn right we are.
You started having caveats.
Yeah, I say a horror genre is the fandom too.
We're the best. We're the best.
The least toxic fandoms.
I know we're the best. I'm telling you.
It really is.
Wait, that's why Halloween's becoming more and more of a party every year. Let's go.
Best genre to watch.
Like I was trying to say earlier, people will support what they like. Look at the Madden series. Look at the 2K wrestling series. Look at the crappy PC ports. People will still buy them because regardless, they will throw money at anything. It's not wavering.
I think that time is done, Bruce. I don't think people throw money at anything.
People still buy Madden every year.
Well, let's see.
The crappy
we're gonna see. Let's see how all these $70 games do this month.
Creativity.
Look how crappy that Mortal Kombat 1
I love that I can get
Joe
on with my bad
I called it Street Fighter 6 forever, baby. Let's go.
Mortal Kombat 1. That crappy
Joe is waiting. I hope you feel better,
Mortal
Joe.
Kombat 1's an absolute disaster
we don't need graphics. We're
Nintendo
fans.
I feel like hell. I can't stay along because it's.
I'm sorry, but my crappy take brought you on. Yeah.
We love you, Joe.
No, it's like what you're saying is blatantly wrong, though. Like you're
saying
that. You're saying that the toy industry, you say they make action figures of like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, then they get to the tertiary characters and they pull the plug. Well, that's false because for many, many, many years, Mattel had the rights to the DC line, and they put out literally every damn obscure character imaginable in their DC Universe line.
You know how many Batgirls I have? Max, come on.
Yeah, they had the Metal Men and the
Bruce, Voltaire, I
dog
think
welder.
Bruce put you in the background when I tried to bring you.
Yes,
in.
that was me.
So eventually Mattel lost the license because that happens. Contracts come up for renewal, and McFarlane's had it ever since. And he's been doing the multiverse line for years now, and he is hitting all these really, really weird, obscure characters.
Well, there's some examples of like McFarlane,
the Batman Who Laughs,
success, but the majority of the the Mattel, the Hasbro,
well, what's the majority? Like when we've been getting obscure characters for the past 20 years.
I used to collect action figures, and my wife
back in the 80s, 90s.
No, like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
But I don't understand if Barbenheimer was such a huge hit.
Listen,
what are in a horror sequel? So you have two exceptions. Where is this coming from? You haven't even had time to breathe, and you're already saying theaters are like audiences are dying when they're going to literally the movies right now.
I wanted to show you guys this again. I really believe this is potential customers.
Oh my God. But they're doing. But what do you mean potential? The first picture is what's happening right now with the Nun and Barbenheimer.
Yeah,
man.
Okay, so what do you mean potential? They're there.
That's my point. That's the potential customers. Okay. They showed up for those.
Max,
why don't they show up?
But they're there right now. They're there right now because of the Nun 2, which is number one. Gran Turismo is doing awesome too.
Like, you're missing out on an untapped market right now. Everybody's talking about how bad freaking Grand Admiral Thrawn looked, even though I personally thought it looked badass. You're missing out on that subject.
Oh, okay?
Hey, the George actually brings up a good point. Well, what do you think of the fanfic writers? They like their characters too. They don't have
fanfic. Fanfic's not going anywhere.
You're gonna get more. It
was more of a meme.
There's no fic.
I think he was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when they do continue projects, people like this should have ended with season 4. Why is it still going?
Yeah.
Well, that's the 4-season rule. I've told you the 4-season. I mentioned.
I stayed at a 4 seasons.
Ask a Game of Thrones fan.
Wow.
What do you know?
Because maybe you don't need to see the ending. You know what I mean?
What's your take on this topic, Voltaire? I think people are sick of the status quo of the industry's tactics of just pulling the plug and letting things die.
How? But how? I think, dude, this is what
are we talking about? Let what die?
Wait, let's hear Brian. I like him.
Max.
I like his energy right now. That's true. I'm sorry, Voltaire.
Voltaire's getting total disrespect lately.
That's true.
I'm not going to stand for it,
true.
Voltaire.
They'll end it, Max, but then you'll disagree.
Bring your Kathy Kennedy voice, please. No.
Well, hi and hello, everybody.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what the topic is, so I don't know what the call is.
Oh my God. Voltaire, get out of here. Kick him out.
No, I'm kicking him out.
Jesus.
I was saying that
wandering into a movie, wanting the plot explained to him. Come on.
Okay,
man.
for example, the Hollywood has, profits start to slide a little bit, or they start to have some issues, they panic and they just pull the plug and start over. I'm like, well, we're not going to finish here, but go to the beginning again. And this is also what doll industry did too. I witnessed it myself. I used to cover that. I used to be on a very successful, Joe left. I'm sorry. Very successful toy and doll podcast where we noticed that we watched things happen. We watched Toys R Us go under. And I believe there's a cycle to it. And I think you burn your customers out so many times. They're like, this is just pointless anymore. It never goes anywhere. And they check out.
What do you mean? What's not going anywhere?
Yes.
What are we talking about?
He's talking about DC, man. And he's putting that into everything.
This movie
He's trying to apply his DC failure to everything.
Not only that, he's projecting his feelings into general audiences everywhere.
The previous DC universe lasted 10 years. That hardly didn't go anywhere. It went 10 years.
Smile. You're so evil.
I'm not evil.
Look at that smile.
Everything, and they start over, and people
are
like,
I've seen this before.
They think they just start fresh every time, that the audience is going to return each time. And I don't think that's happening.
All right. When has DC ever started?
If there's a certain thing called a burn rate, I think that's
how come Spider-Man hasn't reached that burn rate?
Well, because there's only one cinematic universe restarting right now. So.
They did something different with Spider-Man, and they injected him into the MCU, and then they also had the Spider-Verse, other Spider-Man. They had to do that. Without that, even if a really good Spider-Man movie, people, I don't think, would show up unless they do something different.
Okay, so that's what James Gunn's going to do.
No. Spider-Man, Batman, people will show up. Even Spider-Man and Batman were in a.
Then you're competing with you're creating different fandoms within a fandom.
Max,
that's always been the case.
Let me explain to Joe.
And look at how they bring it together with No Way Home.
Can you just stop for a second? Let me explain to Joe because he clearly needs to know what's going on. Okay. And Max just, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. We have to stop the cycle. And Joe's like, what cycle are you talking about, sir? And you're just like, it's about the cycle. Okay, so the cycle he's talking about is you know what like an economics curve or a business cycle is?
Yeah.
That's what Max is talking about. It happens naturally in every business.
So are we saying that they should stick with a failing model? Like that when
that's what Max is asserting.
Not in every situation, but they should try harder to write this
something that doesn't make it back.
No, they should.
Well, are we talking about DC? Because if we're talking about DC, they tried pretty.
He doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit it.
I mean,
DC is on my mind. Yes.
I don't think we could say that
they just get redder.
They did everything
because you know what? Because I called them out.
No, I don't know what's up with my lighting.
You need better lighting.
Or you're drinking. Are you drinking?
My channel was down a week.
He just started. That's a sad part.
I'm sorry about that. By the way,
there's no reason for you guys to call Maxillian a drunk. You know, this is.
No, I'm not. I'm just playing, dude. I wasn't going.
Calling him a drunk.
I wasn't.
No, it's a typical business tactic to just start over, and I think. We've got to
a point
tactic. There's so many Batman, so many Spider-Men. Unless you do something really unique and refreshing, it's not. You're not like even for Superman. If they just do a really good Superman, yeah, exactly. Here we go. If they do Superman lights, if they just did Superman without some other stuff, it'd have to be amazing Superman movie. But you're also competing with the other Supermen.
How is all of cinema and audience reaction all this rest on DC? How is this even possible? How are you like that?
I mean,
it's just.
Do you know, Max? In comics right now, there are exactly probably 10 Kryptonians in Metropolis right now in the comics.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah,
10.
Man.
Count them. Count them right now.
Superman, John Kent, Power Girl, Supergirl. Kanan, the Kryptonian twins. I forgot their names.
Okay,
there's a lot.
Zod
is still around.
I'm just
saying. Crypto.
The dogs are.
Can't forget about Crypto.
Maybe Crypto is to be a difference that's going to get people to see.
Crypto is the blueprint. Yes.
Well, okay, so. Brian recognized the cycle. It's a business cycle. He says it's natural and it makes sense.
I mean, honestly, if you were to look that up, did you take economics in school?
Okay, I'm just saying potentially that the audience also recognizes this cycle when they keep there's another new Superman.
But they have from the very beginning. But they have from the very beginning.
I think they thought was acceptable. I think.
But the audience is part of that cycle. If the audience isn't showing up. That's how
they know,
and they're showing up literally right now, which is why the thumbnail's weird because they're literally showing up right now for Barbenheimer and the Nun.
Let's look
Equalizer 3.
Let's look at the DCEU.
We're having a great box office right now.
Let's take the DCEU for example. They started on the wrong foot. They put the wrong guy in charge with Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder. They made a shit Superman movie. Audiences didn't like it. So then they're like, all right, we'll do Batman v Superman. Audiences liked that even less. And then if you look at Justice League, and you can't blame it on the quality because people didn't show on day one. And they don't know if it's good or bad because they haven't gotten there yet. But day one, they just didn't show. And that was a repudiation on what came before. So then things started to turn around and get better. The movies, the quality started getting better. But the audiences had already checked out because it was built on a shoddy foundation.
Hashtag Birds of Prey. Hashtag Birds of Prey.
Yeah, well, that's a great movie.
Yeah, I love Birds of Prey.
Shazam was great.
Voltaire, you really, really sympathize with Max here. Do you understand what he's trying to say here? Okay, do you agree with him? And if you do, can you maybe in your words sort of explain?
So the argument is that flipping the franchise over every few movies is hurting the franchise. That's Max's argument.
Fatigue. Yeah, that's fatigue. I think it worked for a while.
But they haven't done that in 10 years.
It's been 10 years. You're starting to lose people.
They haven't flipped
like,
it yet.
Another this, another that. What do you show me what you got new? And it's just
what has it worked on?
Like
Batman? What has it worked on? Batman?
I
mean, Spider-Man. People didn't like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies very much, did they?
I would say Batman's another anomaly. Batman usually, as long as it's good, usually does.
I don't even think Spider-Man's an anomaly. They flipped it; it didn't work, and then they completely added it to the MCU.
Yeah, that's actually not true, Voltaire. It actually, well, from a financial standpoint, it did work. I mean, those Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't do bad at all.
Why did they sell? Why they sell it after the second one? Then why did they do the right thing?
Well, in part because they were gonna it didn't really underperform. It still made $700 million. That's pretty damn good.
The second one,
yeah. But the thing is, they were getting rid of Andrew Garfield no matter what. Amazing Spider-Man, even if they had done Amazing Spider-Man 3, Andrew Garfield was out because he had refused to go to some press event, and Amy Pascal got pissed at him and was like, he's out of here. So they were already going to recast Spider-Man no matter what.
Yeah, well, that also is kind of indicative that they weren't, well, I get you, you're right, the financials sound okay, but if they're willing to dump Andrew Garfield because he didn't show up to one press thing, it sounds like they weren't too happy with what was going on with it anyway. Maybe the reception. I don't remember a lot of people saying, I love the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, it was a terrible movie. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
But it didn't do bad financially.
Yeah, so you can, okay, so financially it was okay, but it didn't work with fans. I think that's Max's point, right? It didn't really work.
So they pulled the plug again.
Yeah.
And they only
that's a good thing, but isn't that a good thing?
And no one shed a tear.
Why is that not a good thing?
What do you mean? People are shedding tears now. There's a lot of groundswell for Andrew.
And we wouldn't have had that unless they pulled the plug.
Later.
Now, years later at the time.
And it only worked because they pulled the plug.
No, and he came off well in that last movie, that multiverse movie. Which
that multiverse movie was a redemption arc for him. Like he
was really good at that. You never had
I just don't see why you don't continue with them. Do a nice trilogy. That's a good thing to sell.
Why does every movie need a trilogy? You don't need a trilogy with every storyline.
Because then it becomes
I love Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2.
You can consistently sell this Spider-Man trilogy. It's a good thing to have.
I think they need to get the word trilogy out of their vocabulary. I mean,
I also think them flipping Tobey Maguire was a mistake, even though the third movie was not good. But
but Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out and made Spider-Man 3 look like a masterpiece. Then
made Spider-Man 3 look like Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the worst part about Spider-Man 3 is? Oh, by the way, let me debunk a rumor right now. People always are like, "Oh, Spider-Man 3 failed because of studio interference." No, it failed because Sam Raimi. That's why it failed. And I love Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi, but Sam Raimi made bad decisions in that movie because the only thing the studio insisted upon was that Venom be in it, and the Venom stuff was not the worst stuff in that movie. It was
Saturday Night Fever.
It was Franco getting amnesia Franco. It was exposition Butler. I was there, Harry. I cleaned your father's wounds. Well, where were you in the last movie? How come you didn't tell me then? How come you kept your mouth shut?
Well, he's an old man. It took him a while to get to that room.
Yeah,
his heart wasn't.
He was climbing the long steps.
It's like, I'll tell you, the Venom stuff was actually some of the better stuff in that movie. So.
My recollection is when they started
when he prayed
Venom, he said, "I'm not doing it." But they backed the money truck up to him so many times that he finally said, "Okay, I'll do it." But his heart clearly wasn't into it compared to those first two movies. It's such a, travesty compared to those first two brilliant films.
All right. One thing I want to say is this misconception that DC keeps restarting their universe. They didn't have a universe to restart before Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And that just ended. What? It hasn't ended yet. It'll end in
it ends December.
It's still going on.
Technically,
it'll end in the theater near you.
Flash rebooted the universe, so Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2 were supposed to be in the new universe.
I hope so. I hope they keep Momoa.
Well, that's just.
Oh yeah, they're keeping Momoa.
And the Batman from the 80s, from the 90s, were written to be standalone.
Oh, that's
movies.
another reason I got this topic is Tim Burton was developing Batman 3, and they pulled the plug there.
Who's in charge of the studio?
Same thing.
But studios do this all.
They didn't pull the plug though.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, he said they did. They said because
because we got Batman 3. They didn't want the version Tim Burton was making. They didn't want his version, but they made a Batman 3.
Yeah, his version scared the living crap out of kids. They were done with that.
Okay.
Batman Returns scared the living crap out of kids.
That's another reason I got this is the Tim Burton comics.
Mr. Finisher, be careful what you wish for. Okay? Game of Thrones season 8.
Who's Mr. Finster?
They finished the story there.
Who's Mr. Finster?
What was wrong with season 8?
Oh no, I had issues with it, but they still finished the story.
And who has a better story than Bran the Broken?
I'm just saying. A lot of people didn't like it, okay?
Batman,
people didn't like it because they didn't get the ending they wanted.
For misinformation that Burke is spewing, Batman Forever is not Batman 3. That's completely different.
Do you want to watch The Wisher without Henry Cavill?
No, that's Batman 3.
That's not Batman 3.
That is absolutely Batman 3.
How does it have how does Val Kilmer's Batman have anything to do with Michael Keaton's Batman?
It's the same Batman. He's got the same Alfred. He's got the same
Alfred Max.
He's got
Alfred Max.
Engel,
Alfred Max. He got you with Alfred
Gordon. The only thing that changed was the actor playing Batman, and they wanted Michael Keaton back as Batman. They didn't want Tim Burton, but they went to Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton passed.
Harvey Dent.
Yeah, it's Batman 3.
Tommy Lee Jones was Harvey Dent.
I know. In retrospect, now years later, they put out a comic called Batman '89, and they said we're going to ignore Batman Forever and just do the first two. But that was in retrospect. Those movies were supposed to be in continuity.
Yep, Alfred and Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, Max. Yeah,
this is where the cycle started. Yeah, Batman 3.
That's exactly what I said.
God has nothing to do with it. All right,
those are my initials. God.
Who here considers Batman Forever Batman 3? I don't.
I don't.
Sorry, I don't.
It's like a soft read, but then how do you explain Alfred, guys?
They just
literally.
Don't they constantly reference what happened in the other movie too? Little things like you dated a Catwoman or some stuff like that. Like there's
references. It's the same movie. It was written as a sequel to Batman.
I know it's like a soft reboot where they're kind of like doing their own thing, but it's they didn't know how to do reboots back then. Everything is a sequel. They didn't know how to do. We could do reboots like in the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah, Batman Return. I mean, Batman Begins started the reboot craze.
Yeah,
there were really no
exactly. There was no reboots in the 90s. They would just remake like the Brady Bunch and like stuff that's really old, but they wouldn't. They didn't know they could reboot.
Yeah, you didn't change your continuity for something unless it was like 20 years old.
Yeah, you just don't reference it and you treat it like, oh, we don't remember. Like, yeah, it's always been like this. What are you talking about?
All right.
In fact, I remember when Batman Begins came out, I was very upset about it and said, "This is not good."
You guys beat me down
because you didn't see it yet, right?
No. Well, it was good. The quality of the movie was good, but I said this is not good that they're doing this because they're going to open the floodgates if it works, and I was right.
But you don't think? Wait! You don't think Batman Begins could be maybe? You don't think it counts for a prequel though? That it doesn't count as like the floodgate?
Really, CJH, because it comes in a 4-pack.
Technically,
that proves it. Do you know what Warner Brothers has put in a pack of DC movies that have nothing to do with each other?
Which one?
Upset or frustrated?
He's right though, because that's the original franchise. I think the 89 to 97.
I think that's an inside joke from Degrassi, and I think I get it.
All right, we could have some other topics here. People aren't.
I'm gonna get going. I'm not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Feel better, Joe. Thank you for coming in here and setting him
better.
Straight.
Those VHS tapes are not going to send themselves, so please.
I'm not sending you anymore for a while. That requires work. I got to go out. I got to find them. I got to mail them.
I was really liking that. No, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Maybe someday.
I still have to review.
I'll send you some weird ones.
That's all right, Perp. I don't want.
You sure? You sure? What if I just send you like black tapes? Just black tapes. They're all dirty and they look like snuff films. Would you watch
they'll
it?
take my VCR player down just like you took my channel.
He'll send you that movie from The Ring. He'll send you like the director's
all these cursed tapes.
Don't send me cursed tapes. You didn't send me those, did you, Joe? No, those weren't cursed. Those were.
But no, I got one here. I'm going to send you. It's called "Blow Me Sandwich 2: The $5 footlong."
Nice. He needs those kinds of movies.
How long is that?
I don't think you should.
What's
show
the running time on that one?
88 minutes.
What's the length on that one? Get it? Got it.
Yeah. Footlong.
Oh wow.
Oh boy.
Wow. Just wow.
There you go.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Joe. It's 69 minutes.
So
Nice.
today,
Nice.
my wife had to place an order for. This is true. My wife had to place an order for curbside pickup from Dick's Sporting Goods, and she says to me, she says to me on the way home from work, could you pick something up? And I said, what do you want me to pick up? And she mistyped it, and she goes, I need you to go to the mall and do curbside pickup and bring home some dicks. And that's what she said. She mistyped it. And I wrote back, I'll grab those dicks like I'm a Colorado congresswoman.
Oh, got him.
Yeah,
And
dad
he
joke.
got-
No, that's really good. Very topical.
And I did. So, all right.
Feel better.
Thank you.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you, Joe. That was worth it. I think.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
No.
You're kidding.
Really?
No,
You don't know about Lauren?
Yeah, I got
Really?
it. I'm kidding.
That she
Poor
was
Lauren Boebert is getting
she was-
slut shamed.
she was spreading the mayonnaise in front of kids in the theater.
Oh my God.
All right.
Come on.
Well,
Jacob.
Wait, did you guys watch Ahsoka? And did you talk about that?
let's talk about this.
No. Oh my gosh.
Brian's
No.
waiting to talk about this.
Brian
Go
liked
ahead.
it.
Brian was
Oh.
tweeting
There's
about
only
it.
10 viewers. Come on,
I don't
everyone.
want to talk about
This
anything
thing is-
anymore, dude. You just
Oh.
drove the.
We
good
should
spirit I
treat
had
this
right out.
stream like a curse tape.
Well, we're
and
talking about
send it out to a
Ahsoka.
friend.
This is friendly banter.
After 37 minutes of mind-numbing drudgery,
Yeah, it was really bad, Max. You had no point whatsoever.
none.
What's a points? Now you want to bring it? You want to you bring it back up?
Actually,
You
yeah,
want me
Joe,
to
get
go
back
on
in here.
all your points again. I don't have another 37 minutes.
Like,
dude.
I just want you to admit that you're just upset that you're not getting DC back, and you're projecting
Yes.
that into audiences.
No,
you're projecting that into
I-
everything.
You're putting
like,
that on
you know.
everything, dude.
I
Yeah.
can't stand when they just pull the plug on stuff and we don't get any.
The
It
only
just happened
thing they
once.
pulled-
DC.
Max, the only thing they pulled the plug on is DC, Jack.
Yeah,
You're acting like
All these-
Marvel
That's it.
pulled the
all
plug.
these great shows.
What great.
What do
show.
you mean, dude? Like, you think sci-fi is going to spend what little money they have to
we also
drop up
you're
another show?
Go ahead,
Come
defend
on,
the
man.
Defend the man.
very vague and broad. We had a very focused campaign to get Batgirl back, and that completely fell apart. Like, no one cares. They don't care. They're moving on.
I care.
No, you don't care. Now you're
I
just
said-
going back
I
to I want
said-
all of Snyderverse.
I said I want to do a specific stream for Backroll, and Perp's like, yeah, and then he didn't help.
I don't know how to help. What do I do? Okay, give me your channel. Okay, let's do that. All right,
No.
I'm in charge of the channel.
Oh, the last time.
You need to make an X handle just for that and tweet every day, like as much as you live
Well,
stream.
I'm not going to be a Twitter weirdo either, like that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how you.
One
do
of
it.
those that tweet about the same thing over and over. I'm not going to do that
Yeah.
either.
What am I, a Snyder fan?
No, I didn't say that.
I did.
All right, well, let's talk about Ahsoka. It was great.
Let's talk about it.
Great episode.
High
Let's
tier Star
let's
Wars,
let's
dude.
just get spoilers. I think everyone
Yeah, right.
have everyone seen on the panel in the
Like a
audience.
bird.
12 viewers.
In that case, I gotta go.
You didn't watch
Really?
it yet?
No.
God damn it, Richard.
I mean,
Told you it was good.
is it really going to be that much of a spoiler?
Yes, because I have to. No mind.
Okay.
I will see you guys later.
All right.
bye-bye.
Thanks, Bruce.
Did
Thank
Voltaire
you.
see it?
I watch it right when it pops, man.
Oh yeah, you're a fan. Good for you.
Okay. Spoiler warning.
I haven't seen it yet, but I don't mind.
We get Thrawn and Ezra,
Ooh,
and
Which
they
I
were
love.
amazing.
was
I
Thrawn
like-
worth it? Was it worth the hype?
At first, I'll be real.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was like, "Ooh, does he look good?" Like, it really looks like he's a balding man with hair plugs. But then he starts speaking, and
part of
he
the
gets really
species.
intimidating, and like a an older man, also a little bit of a belly in the suit, and but then he starts speaking, and you start getting the nuance of the acting, and it gets great.
It gets great.
Yeah.
So they gave him good lines. He seems.
No, his voice is just from the animated series is perfect. I felt the same way as Max when I first saw him, especially since my sources told me that Kyle MacLachlan was going to play Thrawn. There was a lot of talk about Kyle MacLachlan.
Damn, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think it would have been, truthfully.
Yeah.
And I know that some people were complaining about his physicality, as Max said, but he's so good with the voice and that kind of thing. I think you get over it. It's just he's supposed to be like a buttoned-up, perfect military guy. So, I understand why some people don't. I know, Brian, I think you tweeted that you were upset about people complaining about that. Is that correct?
No, I wasn't necessarily upset about it. It was mostly just like all I saw this morning was people bitching about how, oh my God, Thrawn doesn't look just. They should have hired a different actor and blah 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 blah. It's like,
yeah. And then people complain when they don't hire the actor from the animated series too. So yeah.
It's like it's so asinine.
Yeah. If they had put Kyle MacLachlan in, he wouldn't have been able to do the voice like he did in the animated series, this guy. And then people would have complained, why don't you just bring the animated actors? It's blah, blah, blah. So you're right. People would have complained.
What are you talking about? He does the voice acting.
No. If they put Kyle MacLachlan in, who would have looked better, but wouldn't have been able to do the voice, people would have complained about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people will complain no matter what.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. People are going to complain no matter what.
Basically. That was basically like, if you have a YouTube channel and you're a little broke, guess what? Bitch about Star Wars, make a few bucks.
That's true.
So,
they're going to have a hard time. This series is giving fans what they've wanted for years. So,
well, the fact of the matter is, it's giving them Heir to the Empire.
All right. Well, let's check in with that pick me girl.
What are you talking about?
Star Wars.
Well, we didn't even get your thoughts, Max.
That's what was my initial thoughts were. Is I was like, the look.
Just Thrawn.
To be fair, I was listening to I was reading her Twitter feed today because she was one of the ones, and I was like, yeah, no, you got a YouTube channel, hon. I get it.
Yeah, that pick me.
That money, girl.
She's
money.
She was all. Besides, she was also defending. Who's that guy that's being canceled right now?
Russell Brand.
Yeah, Russell Brand. But I do have a hot take on that later.
Oh, good.
God.
Yeah, I think my feelings. We'll save that for now. Let's bring up that Griff girl, or that pick.
Oh,
what?
That Grift girl. Come on.
Come on. I guess it's impossible that her opinion always sways one direction.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty.
But
bad.
in my opinion, I think she's forming her opinion.
It would have
based
given
on funds. Based on simping, or not simping, but having her simps for her, giving way too many excuses to men. It's kind of sickening. And that's where she got, a pick-me girl.
Oh, you're talking about the Russell Brand thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's examine this. For those confused with my criticism, and she's on other tweets, criticism live action Thrawn. Let me clarify. I have nothing against Mikkelsen. From everything I've seen him in, I think he's a very good actor. That doesn't change the fact that I believe he's miscast. It's not about his age. That's not the issue. It's his gravitas. He's not imposing or intimidating. I guess that's possible. It's her opinion. I completely disagree, though. I think gravitas is exactly what he oozes in those scenes. Even Pelion, his right-hand man, was uncomfortable around him, despite the terrible makeup. I think the right actor could make it work. You can have an older antagonist that's not physically imposing youth-wise, but utterly sinister every way. This wasn't it, and it's utterly disappointing.
Why did they have Hannibal Lecter?
I guess she's
an opposing person. I guess.
Please.
No, let me explain something to you.
Why cannot be Hannibal Lecter?
I disagreed with what she had to say, but my criticisms towards her had nothing to do with her as a person. And every single person that was on her comment was like, you just suck. And you're just stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. To the people out there doing shit like that, stop. You're not convincing anybody anything. You're not changing any minds.
Yeah, just right. I disagree.
You just look like a whiny asshole.
It's her grift. She knows what's. Oh, this is sarcastic.
Who cares? Let her make her money, dude. I don't care. Jesus, man, it's these dumb.
They hide behind. Oh, I have an opinion and you don't like. That's the grift.
Well, she didn't even say anything that bad there, right?
No, she did other things. I just can't find it. You know.
So why are we reading that?
You're allowed to not like the casting. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think she said anything.
And I can guarantee you, most of the shots you see of him will be this.
Another failed Max on Twitter bit. That's pretty well done.
I think it's
He does look like Elon.
He does kind of look like Elon.
That would be amazing if Elon changed his image
profile pic.
That may be true, senior nerd, but what she said there was fine. It's just her opinion. It's like, you know.
I don't know. I think
she didn't say anything out of line there.
He does the voice. All right, he is the voice.
Well, should we watch her video?
The blue skin.
Oh wait, there's.
I don't. Come on.
There's a cool clip. I would love it.
Do we want to try to find hate on her? Because she said something fine. Let's just move on.
Back her new calendar. That's a nice calendar.
Hang on. What's the link there? I got to go get that.
Oh my god.
I need a calendar for 2024.
He needs a calendar.
Yeah. How am I supposed to know the date, perp? How dare you?
He might actually order. There's nothing wrong with that.
Calendar girl. What's that song? How'd that song go?
Oh, I love my calendar.
I think it's possible she's being genuine with her criticism on Thrawn, but I think she's doing it for reasons.
Yeah, no.
People say the same thing about you, man. That's not nice.
It's true. That's true.
These people have no nuance. Like,
why else complain on YouTube, dude? Because you can make money doing it.
Yeah.
I get my audience yelling at me when I complain.
He sure does.
That's true. That's true. Maybe that's a critique if she doesn't have that. Well, I guess she does on Twitter, but as Brian said, they're not making any art. Like, you know,
no, they're not.
There's nothing to say to that outside of I disagree. This is why I think this person's good. Like blah blah blah. You don't need to.
Yeah, but no, all it is an attack on her character.
Yeah.
No, Degrassi. Look, I'm just kidding. No, kidding.
Hey, Brian, if you were casting, because would you have cast him as Thrawn, or would you have gone for a different look?
Dude, he does the voice for the show Rebels. I mean,
Danny DeVito.
But would you have cast the girl who played Ahsoka for Ahsoka as opposed to Rosario Dawson?
I mean, I don't think she has that physical presence that I think Ahsoka needs.
Her acting feels very muted to me. Really, I haven't seen all the episodes, but it's like
no, it's muted. She's on she's on like a bar of Xanax.
She seems a little bit uncomfortable. I wonder if it's the headgear they're making her wear. I don't know.
Maybe that's just a combination, but
it's still good. It's still good. I'm liking it. I'm just that's my one little critique. That's the only critique I have is all the acting. I feel is a little, but.
I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I think she's cosplayed as Ahsoka a couple times. But the thing is her voice is more suited to the younger version of the character. You know, I think the version that we have now is
a little more gravitas. Yeah.
Well, a lot more road worn. You know, as a character. Yeah, you know, she's been.
Well, here was her original critique. I found it. Anthony Starr, John Hamm, Benedict Cumberbatch, Matt Smith, all would have been better casting as live action Thrawn than what we got. Just because the person was the voice actor for the character does not mean they are right for #Ahsoka.
Sure.
Well, no, I agree with her. All those people would have been better.
Yeah, and it would have been expensive. It wouldn't. This movie, it wouldn't have gotten done. Those are like A-listers.
Cumberbatch or Matt Smith. Yeah, Cumberbatch already said he would never do it. When somebody asked him, I'd never wear blue paint on my face. Matt Smith would have been great. Yeah, he did. Somebody asked him about it.
I hope the guy that plays Vision was looking at him. Is like, you jerk.
Yeah, right.
I disagree. I think the actor they got is superb.
His voice is perfect. That's the thing.
They did perfect with his voice, man, on the show Rebels. That's why I love this episode so much. It was just pure Rebels, man.
So they really brought Rebels to life in this episode, didn't they, Brian? That's what I noted. I was thinking the same thing when I was watching. All the episodes bring Rebels to life, but this one really felt like they brought Rebels to life.
Especially at the end with Ezra. And the way we found Ezra, I'm like, yeah, no, these little dudes, they know where Ezra's at. Because that's how it's always been. Like,
look at CJ just in the comment section.
Yeah.
Wonder Smosh Bumper Bum. I've had it up here with that effing fan casting.
Oh my god. Oh my god. CJH is unhinged. He's unhinged.
What's this? Stop. Delete this.
If that doesn't get subscribers.
All right. Fun times on Twitter.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, another. Oh my god.
I don't think Henry Cavill.
There's only like 4 actors in the world. I swear to God.
Lord. Can we just be happy with what we got? I mean,
I know, right? And it's like it's not realistic too. It's like they're putting up A-listers that cost a bunch of money. They nailed it. They nailed it with this guy. They got him probably for like half the money. All of them. Like
Matt Grace did a breakdown.
Like not producers. They are not.
Did it what?
Grace did a breakdown of this episode.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that voice you got. See the tone?
No, but did you see your tone? Like you're selling him drugs?
Hey, come here, you want?
Yeah, Grace did it.
You want a party?
All right. Good news of Twitter. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet.
That wasn't this.
I was gonna say that was good news of Twitter right there.
Yeah, I thought this was good news of Twitter.
This was nice. Those little guys. It was very much like a Star Wars thing. You know, at first I thought they were cheesy, but then I go, you know what? This fits perfectly. It was great. Sabine fighting those whatchamacallit, those whatever they are, those nomads.
Yeah.
That was terrific.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was great. I mean, she found Ezra really quick, which is whatever. I mean, they got to move it along. You know, it was awfully easy.
But there hasn't been like a schlock episode, like a slogging
I agree 100%.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Zero episodes. Yeah.
The Balin Sati, whatever the hell, that stuff was on point, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I know they're gonna get stuck there too. Watch, and they're all gonna figure out a way to come back.
Well, they got to have season 2 in the movie. You're right. So, but you make a good point. Like, and this is the problem with these week-to-week shows. Like, you get a bum or a stinker where nothing happens. You're like, oh, that. I got to wait a week now to see what's going to happen. You haven't had that with this series. I know, which is interesting to me that people are not, you know, and that's why with these Phantom Menace people, like, they lose credibility.
Oh, Balin was amazing in this. I think Balin did the best, actually.
He's terrific.
He's my favorite. I guess he's not exactly a Jedi, but I'm trying to figure out what he's up to. Like he's like, and again, this is spoiler. He says, "I want to stop the cycle."
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh my God, Max!
He's like me. I want to stop the cycle of this.
Yeah, but he had a plan, Max.
Yeah,
he had a point. Talking on a microphone.
You know, if you're a real Star Wars fan and you watched Clone Wars, when you saw those Witches of Dathomir, that would have put some lead in your pencil, if you know what I mean. That
was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
I was just like, dude, this is the best. To anybody that watched all the
real fans, stuff. I'm sorry, I hate when people say this. Real fans should. If you're a fan who's watched all that crap and then you see them and they were portrayed perfectly, you should be your dick should get hard watching this show.
Well, because you have the guy running it, Dave
Filoni. That's how you're selling the show. Go ahead. You should watch Ahsoka.
Get a hard on.
If you're a real Clone Wars fan, go ahead, Voltaire.
Yeah,
he wants you to watch it with Viagra too.
Well, though, this is a natural Viagra. If you're a real Star Wars fan, yeah.
If you're a real Star Wars fan,
this is Viagra. Yeah,
your dick's gonna get hard.
Look, the way they were acting and they were saying like this one is dangerous. I smelled. This is all just terrific stuff. If you watch the Clone Wars and all that stuff,
that does sound cool though. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
This is in this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw something where they made a bad reference or bad Easter egg that they didn't take out or something like that. It had something to do with dying and something with the Ray Stevens character. And it was like, oh my God, dude, who cares? Just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And you know, these studios fail so many times bringing animation to live action, and there's been zero failure so far. I mean, it's been just a home run so far for me.
All right, well let's get from Dave Filoni why he says Lars Mikkelsen had to play Thrawn, because people were questioning. Some people were questioning it, like that Star Wars girl. Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni explains why Lars. I think he looks great in this image here. Great Admiral Thrawn has captured the imagination of Star Wars fans since its introduction in Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire. Even when Disney declared that much of the Star Wars extended universe was non-canon, Thrawn survived and went on to be featured in Star Wars Rebels, where it was voiced by Lars Mikkelsen. While speaking with Entertainment Tonight in a newly released interview from Star Wars Celebration April, Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni said Lars Mikkelsen was really the only choice to play Thrawn. Let's find out why. It was a very considered decision. It was a very big challenge to cast the voice, Filoni said. You know, how do you find a voice for a character that everyone who has read it pictured it probably in a different, unique way? That's really explaining the challenge there. Eventually, that led me to Lars. We are all very happy with his performance in Rebels, Jon Favreau said. It's going to be very hard to beat Lars because Lars is in my head. The sound of his voice is kind of what I write to. He's saying the voice even inspires the writing. So that's how integral it was for them to have Lars as Thrawn.
See, that's awesome. No, I just, out of all the people who did voices on that show, that's the only one I would have picked. Honestly, most of them aren't, and that's something people need to understand. Is like there is a difference between voice acting and
all right, and let's
camera acting.
Let's get more from Filoni to see. It says Filoni entertained other option, but just kept coming back to Lars Mikkelsen. Jon Favreau agreed, and the decision was made. I couldn't be happier, Filoni said. He looks wonderful in blue. Not everyone does, so that's a factor. And we worked on the eyes, so it's a unique thing to bring this character to life. What works in voice acting doesn't always translate to live action. So Lars Mikkelsen had previously said that he did have to make few changes to his iconic Thrawn voice. I'm not losing the voice, but I'm tweaking it into live action, Mikkelsen explained. When you do anime characters, a whole melodious approach, when you're there as a real person, that would be slightly too much. Just slightly too much. So you had to adjust it. But they did entertain other people, and they just kept coming back to Lars. And I understand that. Mm-hmm. If you've already worked with them and that's how you think when you're writing, I get that.
Yeah. Literally writing lines for him then.
Very unique voice he puts on for it too.
Because he's heard him, voice the character, so he knows how he speaks.
This far surpasses like bringing the Emperor back or something for the big bad for the sequel trilogy, because that's eventually where we ended up. Mm-hmm. I would way prefer a character that we haven't seen in live action yet.
It's really interesting. Has this ever happened before where the voice actor got to play the live action? That's really cool.
I'm sure. I can't think of it.
I don't know. I can't think of it because it is different. It is a different art form. And a lot of times it doesn't work, even if they tried in the audition process. So curious to see how this guy does it. It's cool.
But I'm happy with it. Again, at first when he first walked on, I'm like, you got that too, Voltaire? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I wasn't into it when I first saw him.
And then the acting came out.
Did he not say any lines or something? You see him first.
No, he just walked out. He looks a little bit, overweight older man. It looks like hair plugs.
The first thing I thought of was, oh, wow. And this is him knowing he had this role and probably starving himself and hitting the gym. And that's how he looks. That's the first. And I'm not trying to say, I'm just saying, but that quickly.
Could it be a shout out to Patton? Wasn't Patton overweight? And I know that character is based off of Patton.
If you watch the cartoon, he's like buttoned up and he's almost perfect.
I mean, it's not important that he's in shape either. It's really not important to his
but that's just how the character was in the cartoon.
Was Patton overweight? Hold on. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, well, by the actor, certainly. By George C. Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a belly. Maybe it was a shout out to him.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it worked. No matter what, it worked.
Bring David Oyelowo for Callus.
I don't know what that means.
The other Star Wars character, I guess, that they might bring back. Okay, so let's go to some other topics. It's not going to be a long stream tonight. I would really appreciate anyone watching on the replay too to thumbs up the video and share it, because we are getting to a point where I really appreciate you regular viewers, because the viewership is down a little bit. It's a little slow right now.
Sorry about that.
People are getting back to work. I don't understand it. I think we're doing great content. I'm very happy with the content Very happy with the discussions. But you guys, every like, every share, being in the live chat really makes it that much more special when when things, because we're not stopping. We're going to continue. All right, let me bring up Toxic Avengers reboot.
Hell yeah. Been getting good. I think it's premiering soon. So
I wasn't really paying attention to this much, but isn't it with Daniel Radcliffe?
Toxic Avenger? No, it's with
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, yeah. Oh, it's Daniel Oh yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is in it. I forgot. He's the bad guy, right?
Like the Toxic Avenger remake images features Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, and Killer Nuts.
Oh, it's Elijah Wood.
What's wrong? Oh yeah. Well, okay. You're confusing Elijah Wood and Harry Potter. Way to go.
Yes, I was. I apologize.
Look at that. What do you think?
I love it. I can't wait. The director's really interesting.
Kevin Bacon.
I love Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, I was confusing Elijah Wood with Harry Potter. He really does get Penguin vibes here, though. Doesn't he?
Mm.
Look at this. This is still Trauma, right?
Yep. Well, Lloyd Kaufman at least is producing it.
I haven't seen the first one.
You haven't seen the first one?
Yeah, I haven't really got into Trauma.
It's very offensive. Trauma's crazy. I love Trauma. I actually did a huge run in one of my streams last week, going through every single Trauma movie. Well, that I saw.
I used to like the cartoon show when I was a kid.
Is Peter Dinklage wearing a tutu here?
Yeah, just like Toxie. Toxie did.
Oh, really?
He has a tutu on, yeah.
Okay.
Harry Potter turned the roll down? Really?
Well, I'm interested. I'm looking forward to a trailer. It's not going to be exactly low budget then?
I don't know. Again, they got this director, the guy that did I keep forgetting. He's like an indie guy, but he did a really interesting Netflix movie that you wouldn't like, a really good dark comedy. So that's what really has me hyped.
Interesting. What you figure out what that is and let me know.
Yeah. He's like an actor too. He works with the guy that did Blue Ruin and Green Room.
Does Toxic Avenger need 4K though?
What?
8-movie 4K Toxie box set on the way.
Horrible.
Hell yeah, I'll get it. Toxic. His name is like Mark something.
More creator hype going on. Let me bring that up here. I'm really
Mark and Blair. He did. Oh yeah, he did. I Don't Feel at Home. He worked with Elijah Wood.
Oh, I did actually get my tickets.
I like that. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's the director.
I got my tickets for the creator too, I believe. I got one for tomorrow for Expendables and one for next week with my A-list.
There you go.
Here's more creator hype. Creator reactions call Gareth Edwards' new film one of the best sci-fi movies in years. Oh, this is what I brought last.
Yeah, we went through these.
Oh, whoops.
This hype is disconcerting, to be honest with you. It's a little bit too heavy.
Too heavy. Well,
damn.
What is this?
What the?
X.
Every one of us is a shitable.
Hey, I'm hoping it's really good. It's rated R. They might be going more. They might have tried to stop catering to the PG-13 crowd and just go really hardcore action, like John Wick style with all those action birds and Megan Fox.
Like the first two? Did you see the first two?
It's been a while. What?
They did not go John Wick type action. They're just like shooting. Just cut to a bunch of henchmen falling down.
Why? I hope they do. Let me bring this up here.
They should go more like the last Rambo movie, darker, heavier.
Yeah, that Rambo movie was awesome. That last ending scene was really gory. They didn't do that. Yeah, they didn't do that at all. Or just go ridiculous. Just call Arnold Terminator, Mr. Terminator at that point, you know? Just go nuts.
Heather
My name
Graham.
is Bruce Diehard. Oh yeah, I've heard of this one. Joe Lynch is Suitable Flesh. That's just been killing it over in festivals.
Joe Lynch's H.P. Lovecraft movie will be in theaters and on VOD next month.
Where's
she been?
She's terrific.
Really?
I think she's a great actress, but yeah, you're right. She hasn't been around in a while.
It's also set to reach the Shudder streaming service January 2024.
Hell yeah.
Described as an erotic body swapping horror.
Can't wait. It's from the guy that did Mayhem. I loved Mayhem.
The adaptation of The Thing and Doorstep stars Heather Graham, Judah Lewis. Graham plays psychiatrist Elizabeth Derby, who becomes obsessed with helping a young patient suffering extreme personality disorder, but her desire to help leads her into dark occult danger as she tries to escape a horrific fate.
I'm down. Give it to me.
It's funny. Heather Graham's claim to fame all these years later is still Boogie Nights.
Look at that 70s poster.
Yeah, that is an amazing poster.
That is
Boogie Nights like.
So you're interested, Perp?
Yep. It's been on my radar for a bit, yeah. The word of mouth has been pretty good.
Okay. I hope it succeeds. I'm not like a huge Heather Graham fan myself.
Yeah.
Have you seen Boogie Nights?
No.
Oh my God, Max! Boogie Nights.
She was great. Roller Girl. Yeah.
I saw Austin Powers too.
She was good in that one too.
Yeah, I liked her there.
What about
Austin Powers Cowboy?
What's that?
Awful.
What about Drugstore Cowboy? Have you seen that?
Never heard of it.
What about Lost in Space?
I hated that movie.
Oh my God.
Hangover, Hangover 3, right?
The Lost in Space reboot movie with William
Heather
Hurt.
Graham. Yeah.
Oh, I hated that movie.
And Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
And Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
And William Hurt.
Yeah.
And Matt LeBlanc.
Joe Lynch's Aces.
Get some.
I forget who else is in there.
Haven't seen Heather Graham since Hangover 2.
Anything with Oliver Platt in it is awesome.
Was Heather Graham in Hangover 2? I don't even remember.
It was.
She was in all the Hangover movies, bro.
She was?
Yeah, she's in the first one too.
She was the mother of that baby they have.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. So she's in that. Oh, yeah, she's getting the checks.
Bro. Heather Graham's doing good. Keep
Yeah.
it word. Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now this next one is another sci-fi series that I haven't heard anything about, and I just wish they'd bring back the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
With
Lena
Cersei
Headey.
Lannister. Yeah.
Where's this? What the
those
heck
suits.
is this? Beacon 23. Headley's sci-fi drama series moves to MGM Plus.
Shame.
Why does MGM need a plus? Honestly, like I don't even know.
Shame.
You want a minus?
MGM.
It's
Plus.
another. No, that's one more way for.
Too many
like
streaming
Godzilla
services.
minus
There's
one?
too many out there already.
Yeah, that's one more avenue of revenue for
MGM
Amazon,
minus one.
dude. Who owns MGM? Amazon.
Is that right?
Oh,
Oh,
Why don't they put it on Amazon Prime? What the hell?
That's already on Prime, but I'm telling you, they could. You know how they do the all. You could do anything on Prime. So you got HBO on Prime. Freaking, I have my Max on my Max.
this
is on
image here doesn't like exude
not
confidence
inspiring.
either. Yeah, it's like just bland to me.
Looks like they're on a line in a
She's
Disney
looked better. She's
Disney
looked
ride or
better.
something.
Yeah,
with
she's
those
looked
bar
better
rails.
before in other properties.
Shame.
I'm very intrigued with new sci-fi series though, but
Yeah, who's like running this one though?
8-episode series based on Hugh Howey's novel, same name, takes to the stars with 2-episode launch on November 12th at 9 p.m. Beacon 23 follows two people whose fates become entangled after they find themselves trapped together at the end of the known universe. Headley's Aster mysteriously finds her way to a lonely beacon keeper, Hallen, on his lighthouse in the darkest recess of space. A tense battle of wills unfolds as Halen begins to question whether Aster is a friend or a foe, as her ability to disguise her agenda and motives can make her a formidable opponent. It seems pretty boring. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just saying I want to be intrigued by
What
some
do
nothing is
isn't that what you want from your heady sci-fi though?
I mean, I'm not like gonna lie. I'm sitting over here kind of like.
You're dazing up. Brian's eyes glossed over.
Sounds like Passengers.
No, that Jennifer Lawrence movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably for multiple reasons.
Mixed with Sunshine.
Beacon 23 is a rare psychological thriller whose rich characters and gripping storylines take you to some pretty unexpected places. I'm sorry, this is nothing great. I'll watch a trailer.
Well, it's a trailer to Dredd, which is awesome. Have you seen Dredd?
Oh yeah, I like Dredd.
Yeah, Dredd.
I like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, that's
Sylvester Stallone. Rob. I did not like the one with Carl Urban. I was like, dude, what is Dr. McCoy doing here?
Why is he mad?
Everybody recommends that movie.
Why is he so mad at crime?
From is a banger of a series on MGM Plus. Prime has the first season.
Because they don't love the 90s like I do. I guess.
From. Did we see From?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to get excited about this.
Oh, yeah. From is good.
I'm bored.
No, From is good. I did see From.
No, I'm saying this.
Is that like the sequel to There?
No, it's like Lost. It's a little losty, little Walking Deadish. Little losty, little Walking Dead.
Where's your posters?
Uh-huh.
Where's your posters,
Where are
bro?
your Hey, your posters are running away, dude. Your posters they're gone. They were stolen.
We need more posters. You got a nerd shelf or something.
Nah, dude.
See if Crazy Joe will send you some posters.
Oh, yeah.
Bet that guy has like 1 billion.
I need a smaller desk, man.
Crazy Joe showed me his DVD. He has a
Did
room
you
with DVDs.
scrunch up into the corner of your room? What's going on here? You changed it around. Yeah.
What?
Are you streaming in bed? Oh no, it's a chair.
No, this is my chair. Okay, I just moved my bed was where I'm sitting now. I moved it against the wall over there. I got the TV on a swivel, so I can watch it here. I can watch it there, and then the Xbox is just on the other side of my TV over here.
We need a new
poster. My room's kind of messy. No, the For Contact one got ripped a little bit because I'm really close to the wall. I mean, it's like right there. So I need to figure out a way to move the desk a little bit in. But I also have like a big ass picnic table for a desk.
You see?
So if I just had a
Brian's blank wall is more interesting than the sci-fi series. That's all I got to say.
Well, facts. But see what I was thinking. What I'm getting though from that Temu thing or whatever, I'm getting some of that sound insulation stuff.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
What are you talking about? I got a bunch of good stuff from that.
It's not legit.
I don't care. It'll look all right. It's aesthetics is what I'm going for, man. Yeah, I can't seem to work this thing, but if I could though, my gosh, we'd all be in.
What is it?
It's a portable sound card.
For drops?
No, well, not necessarily. It does have buttons for that stuff, but basically, I wanted to adjust my vocals. Considering I got a decent mic here, Problem is the only input is a damn headphone jack, and these microphones they're USB microphones. They don't have that. Yeah. But there's like voice changing stuff on these. But they have some other ones. I need to get a new boom arm. This one's old. I had it from my old stuff. But that's what I was trying to do with it. This is only like $12.
Before you get started with this one, I got to get going, guys. But as always, I love talking to you guys.
You can't go when there's only 12 viewers.
Peace out, brother.
No, I'll hit the like.
Go. Oh, you didn't hit the like yet?
Jeez. But I hit it on the way out.
Oh, that
is it earned?
Gosh, man.
I feel like
hey, I always do the like thing as you said. I always do the like thing like you said. I just didn't do it this one time. I'm hitting it now. Look, I'm literally here. Look, I liked it. Look, liked. You've been liked.
Sorry, I like everyone.
You've been liked by the best.
I even liked the stream that you got my channel taken down on because I didn't know.
Well, you were the only one. All right, later, guys.
All right.
Love the show. Love the show. Love the show.
Everyone's loving it. All right. No, seriously, it's weird. It's like frustrating that even YouTube friends, you have to like beg them to like your videos. I like everyone's videos. I go in to support everyone. All right.
Even Grace after she blocked you?
Yeah, I usually give her engagement either thumbs up or thumbs down. Absolutely.
All right.
Most of the time it's thumbs up. Every once in a while I'll give her a thumbs down. And then when I do that on stream, people give me hell, so I end up changing it back. Like, perp, you're going to give her a thumbs down. I'm like, yeah, I'm allowed to do that. It doesn't really matter. Thumbs up, thumbs down, it's engagement. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, Percy Jackson Olympians teaser trailer, Gods and Monsters come to life for the Disney Plus adaptation. I'm really excited for this. I think this could surpass Harry Potter if done right, because even though there were 2 movies, they pulled the plug, the cycle of Hollywood, after the first 2 movies, and they rebooted it. But it wasn't very successful, and they waited too long. I think they were going to do a 3rd movie, but they waited too long, and the actors got old. So there's difference there. Tells the unbelievable story of a 12-year-old modern demigod, Percy Jackson, who's just coming to terms with his newfound divine powers. And the sky god Zeus accused him of stealing his master lightning bolt. With his friends Grover and Annabeth, Percy must embark on an adventure of a lifetime to find and restore order to Olympus. I didn't see the trailer. Did anyone watch the trailer yet?
No.
It's a nice poster there. I think this is a perfect Disney Plus project, skewed a little bit younger than even Star Wars is right now, even Ahsoka,
I agree.
I hope it's a success. I potentially might do a trailer reaction tonight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's done. It's not impacted by the strikes.
I love the Gods of Mount Olympus. The movies were just a little bit too childish for me, but you're right. It skews younger. It's for a certain audience.
See, I don't have that issue. Like, I'm like, oh, this is skewed towards younger audience. I think it's for everyone. I go E for everyone. I don't think in terms like that. This is just for children. I like a lot of animated stuff, and I'm totally fine with this. I hope it succeeds for these young actors too. We need another group of young actors, like, the Harry Potter actors are all older now. And, the Twilight actors. We don't have another group of young people that's being successful in a franchise for a while.
That's a good point.
It's been a while. We need another good franchise for the young people, young adults. And I think this could be fun.
I think this is a good Disney Plus series. You're right about that.
I still haven't seen the trailer yet, but he was in that Netflix movie that everyone went crazy over, and he did good acting. I didn't really particularly like that movie that much, but he was good in the movie. Like, his part was good. He did his job. Just the movie overall, I didn't. It was like, okay. The Adam Project.
Oh, I never watched that.
It was just.
Is that the time travel thing or whatever?
Yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was pretty good.
No, he did good acting in it. No issue with him. The movie was kind of just mid to me.
Yeah.
But, look, Anthony says it ain't passing my boy Harry. Well,
it's a high bar.
Harry Potter has already been done right in a lot of people's eyes of this franchise, because this is book series first. The movies aren't as well received. So if they get to that level with this series, which is, I hope they can, I think it could surpass potentially Harry Potter in popularity. Maybe. I don't know. It can be as big as Twilight, maybe. I don't need to see another Twilight. We can't hear you.
You're muted. There he is.
No, he's not.
No.
Now I am.
Oh, no. Now he can hear you.
No, I was playing with one of the microphones. Apparently that didn't work.
Oh, Degrassi says it was nearly pre-canceled along with their Spiderwick series. At least one had to go.
Huh.
But anyways, I'm gonna take off, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, all right.
I'm so tired today, guys.
No excuse.
I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
Get your rest, man.
3:30. Good God.
Yeah, dude. It's my back into my bed. Okay, I need to get into bed. Bed is the thing. We'll do like
if you're not going to go to a chiropractor,
I need to at least get a bed.
Or do the stretches from the red pillars. You need a new bed, or at least a foam topper, or at least a really good foam topper.
I'm going to do it. The stretches. Look, I actually pulled my back out too. Actually, working out last week, and those stretches are the only things that are keeping me going. But waking up from sleep, I can sympathize with that, certainly.
But yeah, no, I actually got on the floor down over here. Did a few of those stretches because I had done yoga sometime, and those are basically just simple yoga stretches.
Try to sleep on your back and put pillows under your knees, Brian.
I can't sleep on my back, or at least I can't fall asleep on my back.
Then put a pillow between your legs.
Yeah, that's all I'll try.
On your side, that's the other trick.
Because I always sleep on my sides. So that's.
All
anyways, that's neither here nor there. We don't need to get into back problems. You hit 40, everybody, and it's like, oh man.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have time for the mailbag. There's only like a couple.
Oh, there's the end. Doesn't look too far off. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we'll
take
get
it
one.
easy, Brian.
Much love.
Don't end the stream. Just exit.
Yeah, Degrassi, CPAP is something everybody I've talked to who gets on it, once they get used to it, they say it's a life changer.
I couldn't get used to it. I used to like strangle myself with the cord because I twist and turn so much.
You got to sleep 6 hours straight at least.
I have a hard time sitting still, and for that you need to sit still. Like if you're one of those people that like turns, I sleep on all directions. I sleep on my back, my side, my belly.
Your belly is the worst thing ever.
I know, but sometimes I just turn around. I just whatever. Especially when the cat comes and lays on my face and I can't breathe. Well,
that'd be a problem for breathing. Yeah.
Yes. The cat loves to lay on my head.
If you need a CPAP, sleeping on your back must be terrible for you.
Mine, I have sleep apnea, but not that bad.
Okay. If you can sleep on your back, that's pretty clear. It must not be that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a few topics left, and then we'll get to the mailbag. Thank you for sticking with me, Voltaire, where everyone else leaves.
I don't run away from something like that, like these others.
I don't know why people were so aggressive towards me, towards my the industry and cycles. Like it's pretty apparent to me what happens. Sales dip just a little bit, and they panic, and they pull the plug and just start over again. And I think that's people. I think more people might realize than you expect. Recognize the pattern, and there's something called a burn rate for customers. If you keep doing this, you're going to burn some customers, but overall it'll work. And I think we've got to a point where it doesn't work anymore.
Look at the Fantastic Four. I have no faith in that franchise. That's because they keep putting out reboots, garbage reboots. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know why everybody.
And what's the difference? That it's within the MCU. That means it's not going to just be the Fantastic. That's the difference. But if you just did a Fantastic Four, even Superman Legacy, there's so many character stuff in that movie from what we've heard so far. It's not just a Superman movie. It's not.
Yeah, no. I'm agreeing.
Okay.
Good for you, Degrassi. I'm glad that you're getting that's going to be a big game changer for you.
I'll see what he said in a second.
No, he's talking about the CPAP giving him 7.5 hours straight. That's good.
Ugh, sorry. That was a weird sneeze. I apologize. Aliens Bishop novel is direct follow-up to Aliens and Alien 3. A direct sequel to Aliens and Alien 3. The upcoming novel Aliens Bishop will reveal what happened to Bishop after he was disconnected. The android Bishop. I like the android Bishop.
Yeah.
I think they should do a movie on it. I'm very excited. Well, speaking of reboots, they're going to do it. But that's the thing. It's different. They're doing an Alien series from what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with that because so would you consider like Alien Covenant a reboot of the Aliens thing or just a different universe of the stories?
It was different in what happened. Again, the cycle, it wasn't as profitable as they wanted, and they basically made an Alien movie again, just like the first one. It's too similar, and people didn't accept it. It's like, we've seen this before. Right? It was because the Alien Covenant it was a good movie.
Yeah, I love it.
But it was, if you compare it to the original Alien, which it's most comparable to, it doesn't hold a candle to it. Whereas Prometheus had some new ideas,
Prometheus is the one I made a mistake. I confused Covenant and Prometheus. Prometheus is the one I loved. You're right. Covenant was them trying to, because people complained about.
Right. Exactly. Prometheus. The cycle I'm talking about. Just like Terminator. They reboot it. People complain it's not that great. Instead of working with what they had, they just reboot it again, and then no one shows up. And even Terminator Dark Fate, there was some really good stuff in there, but it was so cookie cutter to what's come before with Terminator. Like, it didn't really do anything new.
So they like overcorrect with fan service and stuff like that. But
yeah, it's just basically the same story over and again without anything. Like at least Terminator 3, people don't like that, but the world ended. Like, the bomb went off when they're in a bunker at the end. Yeah, that was different. I know it had recast, but they at least, that's where I actually give them credit. Instead of reboot it, they actually did something with it. I actually like Terminator 3. Because
I'm moderate on it.
Yeah.
It's not like Genesis, which is just like one of the worst things ever. But
I listen, I like Genesis too. If it would have went somewhere, they had what's his name? Doctor Who at the end, Matt Smith.
Yeah. Recasting Sarah Connor was a mistake, though, right?
She was all right. I mean, she wasn't, but they could have gone somewhere, but they panic. And then why does anyone show up? Oh, if it doesn't work, they're not going to go. I'll show up when you start doing a series of movies. I like I like Prometheus.
I love the lore they created in Prometheus. Love it.
Is it Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
Some of his best work, I think, was David, right?
Yeah.
And I really wish they could have done something really great with that character. They kind of did, but it kind of went nowhere too.
Again, because they were the second movie they tried to overcorrect, which is a shame, really.
That's what it's the cycle.
Yeah.
Too reactionary instead of just telling a story, and then it leads nowhere. Whereas at least if they finish the story, they could only just done one more movie, and they could have tried to wrap it up in some form, because usually it's not me that's focused on trilogies. Usually they tell stories in trilogies because of George Lucas.
That's traditional.
And they could have at least wrap it up in some way where it's more appealing to people down the line and to sell to other streamers. The Prometheus trilogy. Why'd they stop it after 2? Just do one more. You know what? We're only, the last movie wasn't very profitable. Let's wrap this up, and at least we'll have an evergreen product to sell on physical media and to other streamers as the Prometheus trilogy. Now it just leads nowhere.
Yeah, and it's so funny because one of the complaints about Prometheus is, where's the aliens? There's hardly any aliens in it. Where's my aliens? So what did they do in Covenant? Just nonstop. They go into a temple full of aliens all over the place. It's interesting. Yeah, you're right. Covenant was just not nearly as. Covenant was just watchable.
But they at least could have finished something after that. And now it's no. That's what I'm saying. That's the cycle that I think people are like. That's the burn rate's higher than I expected, and people are just like, whatever. Like, there's some people even now, an Alien Project. Oh, I'm there. I'm one of these fools that shows up all the time. That's the, But unless they do something unique with these, both of these new Alien projects are going to be spectacular. Wide gulf between their approaches, but they're gonna work. Both work. I hope so.
Well, isn't Noah Hawley on one of them? I mean, that's a very good thing.
Mm-hmm. That would have been great. I actually like Alien versus Predator, the first one. I think it's fun.
I loved it.
It's a popcorn movie. Yeah.
Very fun. The whole thing, the backstory they gave out, showing how the Predators go down there in the past and all that. I love that.
Yeah. Well, they're having at least a novel for you. I know that people like that character too. So that's cool. And I'm looking forward to new projects. I loved Prey. That was like a one-off, though. I don't know if that's going to be a series or not, but that works as a one-off, though. An Alien versus Predator remake. I think it'll be a while before they try that again.
If they did it for streaming only, like they did with Prey initially, that's actually a good idea for a streaming only, straight to streaming movie.
Mm-hmm. Keeping Ridley busy with other things is nothing but good for Noah Hawley and Fede Alvarez.
I think the Noah Hawley one's going to be good because Noah Hawley is super talented.
Yeah. I think that's it. Oh, no. I had one more article. It's just a quick one, though. Blue Beetle is coming to digital. I hope it does good. I mean, I honestly don't think we're going to see this character again. Me personally. I mean, I'd be happy if they do, but maybe because of the connection to Booster Gold, that might work. I don't know. But sprints onto digital platforms next week. Is it on Max or is it just VOD?
Well, first VOD, right?
I think that's the new plan. I want to watch it again when it goes on Max, but I'm not want to pay for it. I mean, if I wanted to, I could go to the theaters, I think, if it's still there.
We've seen it. Why would you do that?
Yeah, well, I want to watch it again, but I'd rather watch it in the comfort of my home. Yeah. So that's good for anyone waiting, I don't think there's anything your nephew might like this. I don't think there's anything that adult in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
He's only 4, but I don't know how advanced this is. I do want to take him to the Turtles movie, actually, though.
What's on Paramount Plus now?
Okay. That's something I can watch with him.
Oh, that's really good. I like that. So there you go. And now I'll get to the mailbag. And everyone hates my good news of Twitter. Well, there wasn't really much to cover on Twitter today. And I'm still calling it Twitter. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's too catchy. Good news of Twitter. As much as I like Elon Musk, that whole rebranding thing was a mistake. He's made some mistakes with Twitter, in my opinion.
Well, he's sticking to it.
He is sticking to it, but taking away blue checks was just dumb. That was just flat out dumb. I mean, you could sell a different color check to verified users, but the blue check concept, like that you knew this was the person who it was supposed to be and they earned a blue check, I like that, but I don't know. Everything else, then rebrand. I just don't get the rebrand, but whatever. I hope he does well. It's interesting to me. I don't like Tucker Carlson necessarily, but it's fascinating to me the number of views he gets on Twitter versus
that's not necessarily people that watch a lot of it. They just might scroll across it from what I've heard.
Yeah, I wonder how much
you just might see in your notifications and actually look at it, and that counts instead of even watching it, is what I've heard. But I don't know if that's accurate or people that just can't stand Tucker or Elon.
Right.
That's also because it's hard to know.
I don't know, man. YouTube channels beat cable news now. So yeah, you're right. I don't know either, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was true.
Yeah. Jacob McKenzie, update discussions between the WJ and AMPTP today were very encouraging and incredible progress was made. I hope so. The guilds will meet again tomorrow in the hopes of ending the 142-day strike and finally paying the writers fairly. I hope so for my my selfishness of wanting to cover more movies and going to it, but also so people. I love the entertainment industry. I think without the entertainment industry, life would be could be potentially really boring.
Yeah.
I love interacting with people. I love the ladies. I love my wife, I love meeting people, but without like music, video games, movies. I've said this before. When I was when I struggled with mental illness before, some entertainment saved my life. Like I want to see the next Star Wars movie. I want to hold on. That's an event for me. Each of the music, movies, video games. That's how I bookmark my life. Oh, when I got the Dreamcast, I was this and that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I love entertainment. So I want the entertainment industry to thrive, and I want people to be rewarded for art.
Yeah, and you know what? We need it in America. Honestly, we are still the world leaders in producing entertainment and culture for the world. Mm-hmm. Everybody watches our movies, listens to our music, and all that kind of thing. It's very important.
Yes, I want to try to break the stigma of people looking down on artists as like they think it's a lesser form of employment. I don't like that either. There's like a stigma, just like there's a stigma attached to animation. It's like for children. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that all these different job opportunities are available.
Yeah. Yes, cultural sign points, Degrassi. That's the correct way to phrase it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I mark my life. Yeah, that's how much it means to me. All right. Jacob McKenzie, Max, thoughts on James Gunn has revealed that Zoe Saldana is the only actor from his initial pitch for Guardians of the Galaxy who was cast in the first movie. And of course, none of those actors who were in the book ended up playing the characters except for Zoe Saldana, who I met and loved from the beginning. Well, she's a very great lady. Once you have her in mind, I don't see why. She is the queen of nerds. Bruce is the king of nerds. She is the queen of nerds.
Is that right?
She's been in so many amazing nerd franchises. And she's a great sport. I haven't really heard her complaining much. Have you?
No.
She doesn't say I'm tired of doing this, right?
God, I hate that. No, she's fine. I would have noticed that if she did, because I hate that crap.
All right. I'll save the quote of the day for the end. Max, also, this is the current budget for MCU sequels. Multiverse of Madness, $294.5 million. Quantumania, $200 million. Love and Thunder, $200 million. I don't know if these are accurate, Jacob. I think they spent more with marketing before marketing. Guardians 3, $250 million. Wakanda Forever, $200 million. The Marvels, $219.8 million, just confirmed today.
See, these numbers are all bogus because we just read an article that was $130 million, which I was very suspect of when we talked about that last night.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Jacob. Where are you getting these numbers? Because I was shocked when they said $130 million. Maybe that's before marketing?
Maybe they're including incentives or something that are offsetting. It just seemed too low. This seems way more likely to be. Ant-Man only 200 sounds low too.
I thought it was more like 250 or 300.
And Love and Thunder 200 sounds super light. I thought I heard way bigger numbers for that one.
Yeah, not attacking you, Jacob, but just these numbers wherever you got them, they don't seem correct to me. Like I thought these were more. These were before Marvel started failing. I think they put a lot into those. And Wakanda Forever too. Wakanda Forever, that's the one that's like, let me look up that. Wakanda Forever's box office. I'm sorry. Cost. Oh, it says $200 million budget. Okay.
Vanity Fair is the one who reported 130. That doesn't even make sense to me.
It's hard to know. All right, Jacob, I apologize. That's accurate. I thought it was more like 300 million. All right. So 219.
I'm sorry. I apologize, Max. I just found it. IGN put an article out today saying that the original 130 is not correct and 219 is correct. The numbers Jacob is posting. I don't know if this article talks about the other numbers. I was just glancing at it, but that would explain where he got the Marvel's budgets thing from.
Okay. Well, actually, that's a good sign. I think that's right. I think that why is DC so ridiculous then? DC should not be this expensive. They're approaching 300 million for some of their projects.
Jacob, where did you get those numbers, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah. Jacob McKenzie also says, Max, thoughts on Disney CEO Bob Iger, and I'll refresh CJH, don't worry. WBD CEOs David Zaslav, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, and NBC Universal Studio Chief Content Officer Donna Langley are all present at bargaining session with the WGA. CEOs have cleared their calendars and want to sit and have a real conversation. Yeah, they should, because that's the main talking point, that the CEOs are getting crazy raises. So they should be there. They make enough to be there, at least that.
Those are heavy hitters, man.
To
get them all in one room. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm happy.
That means real progress, or they thought that they could have a deal done.
That's why I'm telling you, I don't think Bill Maher would have halted unless he heard something. Oh, we're close. It's not worth getting all that backlash, having guests cancel when you maybe could just come back anyway in a couple weeks.
Yeah, why didn't Zaslav tell him, hey, listen, I'm going to this meeting, so maybe slow down,
Because Zaslav wants people to get back to work. That's why.
Yeah, but that's true.
Does he think he cares that Maher got backlash? No.
Yeah,
he wants people to. That's my take, at least. I don't think he cares. He wants people to get back to work. Oh, Bill, hold off. Don't put your show back together. No, I don't see Zaslav doing that. I was actually I like that show, Real Time. I know people hate Bill Maher. I don't,
No, people hate him now. I always was entertained by him, even though I didn't agree with him. People hate him now. They loved him when he was, his whole episode was talking crap about Trump. But once he starts talking about other ones,
you got to give him credit for calling the Trump angle, that he was never going to concede.
No, he did great on that. And I was fine watching it.
One, he's never going to admit if he loses.
But he's not like these Phantom Menace people who hate everything, including Ashoka. That's a lie. They're just sticking to one side to keep whatever fans. Bill Maher is taking both sides, and people don't like it. They want him to be myopic and just be like, "Oh, I'm all this left."
He'll also get the thing. Well, you platform this person on your show. I'm like, I just talked to the person. I didn't agree with them.
Right.
That's another thing. It's like you platformed.
Oh, I love that he has people from all sides. Yeah. He had Steve Bannon on. Like nobody will put him on. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah,
I think it's interesting.
I agree.
And he consistently disagrees with the panelists,
He fights with them, yeah.
Mass Vigilante Max, another rumor of Deadpool 3 or of Channing Tatum might be Gambit in film. We all know for years Fox hinted a standalone film for the character with this actor, but sadly we never got it until probably now. So if he does return for the character, would you be up for it? I'd be up for a cameo. I'm not against Channing Tatum, but I never really saw him as Gambit. I'm open to being persuaded, though, with a great performance. But I think more is like a cameo in this Deadpool than an actual being Gambit in a standalone film. Me personally. But I'm not opposed to it. If it happens, give it to me, Just make it good.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily against anything as long as it's good.
Especially if they keep up with the comedy on this Deadpool film. I think it would be okay under those circumstances.
Jacob says, thoughts on a court document from big Xbox leaks revealed that 74.8% of Series owners own the Series S. A 25.1% own the Series X. The Game Pass in Series S is a good deal. It just is. So it doesn't surprise me. That's why the new console that they're calling the Brooklyn, I think, is going to be no disc drive, digital only, but it's going to be the same price as the Series X. And I think that's a mistake. I think it should at least be $50 cheaper than the disc drive based one. And then you're going to have a system that's comparable to the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, $50 cheaper. They need to. I think they're just counting on the future, 2028, their next console, where they said also the leak said that it's going to have a lot of cloud gaming based stuff with that Game Pass and all those studios they acquired is going to be a big deal in the future.
How much internal storage does the PS5 come with?
At the most 1 terabyte, probably half of that. I don't know.
So they're banking on that extra terabyte being already installed
and the new controller. It's supposed to be a wake system controller, like you just shake it. Cloud sucks. Well, it won't in 2028 though, CJH. By then, the internet's going to be better. I'm sure 2028 that cloud gaming is going to be a thing. It still might not be the main thing, but it's going to be better, I think. I think it's not going away. It just needs to be refined and better technology.
But what's the difference between cloud gaming and just online gaming?
Cloud gaming is the computing is done off your system, like the heavy lifting.
Oh, the whole thing is downloaded up to the cloud. I get it. Okay, I see.
And you're actually streaming it from like their centers with a bunch of huge PCs, and like the heavy lifting's done elsewhere. Like there was even a thing that they were talking about, like the original Xbox could handle some new games if it's done right via cloud streaming. So the idea is there for the technology. It just needs to be refined and be done better. And honestly, they may have already figured it out. It just doesn't reach the consumer level yet, you know.
So is it the device that's a problem, or is it just their servers?
Or
do you know?
Internet connections aren't as good as they need to be.
Yeah, you're right. CGH has got that Canadian internet. He's probably got like 8 gigs down or something.
Yeah, the connections need to be better internet.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 years, you're gonna have better internet. We better. Look how much technology's gone in 5 years. That's gonna be better internet.
No.
Okay. Thoughts on Xbox? Phil Spencer saying buying Nintendo would be a good move for both companies. That would be a career moment. It's just taking a long time for Nintendo to see their future exists off of their own hardware.
Never going to happen.
Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo, but laughed out of the room.
Nintendo will not sell unless whoever's in charge dies.
They make a lot of money. Listen, they're the one console company that potentially might actually make a profit on the actual console itself. All the other systems are designed to make profits off of the hardware, or off of the software, not the hardware, off of accessories and games.
Yeah.
But Nintendo is actually profitable, and they have evergreen products where very few of their first-party titles get super cheap. And it's a lot of it is also because the majority of the game is done when they ship the game. That's the difference with Nintendo compared to the other consoles. The majority of the work is on the cartridge or done when they ship a game. And
they won't do it. They won't even. Could you imagine if they started releasing mobile games like with like, you know, microtransactions, how much money they'd make? But I remember reading an article years ago about how Nintendo won't even come close to that because they want.
Well, they could have potentially done it before the Switch launched, but now that the Switch is such a success, they're making this is probably the most profitable Nintendo's ever been.
Right. And if they had mobile games, the Switch wouldn't have been.
Because they're not even developing that many new games. They're just remastering old games and making so many versions of the Switch with different paint, like different special editions and Joy-Cons. So much money on the accessories. Those Joy-Cons are pieces of shirt. They're horrible controllers, and they sell them for $80 for 2, which is a highway robbery. Yeah. Just because they have and they never tried to improve them. This is like the weakest actual product that Nintendo's produced, like quality wise, in my opinion. The quality of the actual Switch, for me personally, the Joy-Cons are horrible controllers.
Okay.
They got drift. They feel cheap. They're super teeny. Even the original NES controller I would take over the Switch Joy-Cons. And but just the idea of taking just Nintendo docking it and taking it on, that's the slam dunk idea, is that you don't have to buy a handheld and a console. That's what's great, and it has a cartridge. But the actual quality of the console itself and the controller, I think, is horrible.
That's bad news. And they've rebooted most of their classic games, you say?
They remastered them, a lot of them. I mean, they have some new games, but like they have a new Peach game coming out. It looks a lot of like mini games. It doesn't look like a full-fledged game to me. They have Super Mario Wonder, which is a new 2D Mario game. Literally, the new Switch is coming out next year. We'll see. We'll see, because Nintendo has a cycle of being really hot and then really not the next one. We'll see what they announce. I have a feeling that it's going to be digital only, at least for backwards compatible. Because also something that's changed over the Switch, I believe close to 50% or over 50% do digital purchases. And once you get to that, Voltaire, if you realized your consumers, at least close to 50% were digital, and you're thinking about your next product, would you keep the physical aspect when the trending is digital and increase the costs for production and your profits? Because having a physical drive or that also could cut into your profits, whereas digital only, you have more control of. Direct to consumer of digital. I mean, I love physical media, but
I think that's a dying.
The younger generations, though, do you think they have this attachment to physical media?
I think they have. I think they're actually bothered by physical media.
Clutter.
They don't understand why they don't understand why it needs to exist.
Yeah. I honestly think I love it, but the younger generations, I don't think are. I think they like having a Switch and all their games on a card in their Switch.
These are kids who operate off their telephones, right?
For one thing, my nieces, oh my God, I would prefer they get digital because they lose stuff all the time. And
Yeah.
But what would you do if you were the decision maker for Nintendo, your next console, without caring what people are going to outcry the physical media collectors? If you saw 50% digital purchases and you get more profits on that, you don't have to deal with the resale community, and you don't have to deal with having a physical drive potentially lowering your profits.
Listen, and also let's not forget there's the middleman of sending it to stores and stuff like that. Absolutely, they want to move to digital. It behooves them to move to digital, right? There's also an impulse buy factor associated with digital purchases that when you have to burn calories and go to the store, or even just go on Amazon and order it, whereas you could just download it right to your system, they're well aware of that. So yeah, no, they're gonna focus.
But what would you do though?
As a company, I would say too bad for the physical people. Get over it, or maybe make a second version. I suppose
a premium version that has the drive.
Yeah,
but have the main console be the digital.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's gonna happen. Now, I care more for Nintendo to keep that physical than the PlayStation or Xbox, because honestly, this current gen, I could care less about owning the physical disc for some of these games.
You know what? And
for example, Mortal Kombat 1, if I ever get it, they have DLC constantly. Like, what's the disc is useless.
Right. And the people who do want physical that badly, they'll pay the premium to get that other version of it. They won't care if they're so excited about it.
All right.
Interesting. The DLC thing is another factor.
Like my fighting games, I usually consistently bought fighting games over the years, but I've gotten to a point where I hate looking for the disc to load up a fighting game to play online. I'm like, I want to play Tekken instead of Mortal Kombat. I'd like to just, hit the digital edition. I actually rebought digitally some fighting games that I had the disc for when they were like $8 or something. Like, it's worth it to just own it where I don't have to get up and find the disc if I want to play a quick few rounds with my friends.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. Let me see here. Thoughts on the new reboot of Percy Jackson Olympians on Disney Plus? Personally, it looks all right, but I'm not going to jump on it yet. And others give the first take, but also heard there's another reboot of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yes, and that has Rachel Zegler. And I'm not against her, but she is not. I'm not against her. I think she's talented, but she's not having a great time with promoting her projects right now.
I think she's gonna go quiet for a little while.
So they went all hook, line, and sinker putting her in everything. I don't know if that's gonna be a detriment to this new. Honestly, I'm not interested in the Hunger Games anymore myself. I thought the first movie was good, the second movie was okay, and then after that was horrible. And Jennifer Lawrence was phoning it in for that and X-Men, and I just lost interest in this franchise. I'm not against anybody. Just because this is the internet now. You can't even criticize people. What do you hate them? No, I don't hate anybody. I want everyone to succeed. I would love Rachel Zegler to succeed. I would love the Snow White trailer to come out and everyone blow their minds. Now, do I think that's possible? I don't. It's really weird how quiet it's got.
Oh, that's not weird. That's on purpose.
I think they may actually be shelving that one.
Look, I just put like a 2-minute video in the chat. Just take a quick look for reaction. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's pretty funny. And I think this is why things have gotten quiet on that front.
Okay, let me see this. I want to see the trailer. I want to see what it's like. Okay, hold on. She's having a lot of moments out there that, annoy people. Don't annoy me. I don't care.
No, but listen, Disney's PR team and her agents have told her, maybe let's quiet down a little bit. You didn't say anything wrong, Rachel.
She annoys people.
She triggered some people.
I'm not triggered at all. I think she's a wonderful young actress. That's sometimes cringy, but she's young. Lots of young people are cringy. I would not want to be on the internet when I was her age, because I would say some stupid stuff.
Good God. Imagining you're famous and you have a lot of people listening to you. God.
Voltaire, would you have said some cringy things back in the day?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I'm not judging her. She's just young. She thinks she knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah.
She's not wrong either, though.
It's not stalking.
She's not wrong either. It's kind of weird.
No, it's not. He fell in love with her and he's looking for his lost love who's disappeared, Max. It's a hero's journey looking for his love, no, that's not stalking.
I agree with her.
Stalking is
weird.
Rachel, John from Disney here. Saw that you're doing press, getting out there. Love the men are bad stuff. Down with the page.
That's how you think an agent talks like this? They probably have to talk like this to their clients. Down with the patriarchy.
With that. Just thought we'd have a quick little chat about potentially toning it a tiny bit.
This is great.
Down on calling the prince a creepy predator. Men are.
Wow, that's funny. Oh, I also had a George Lucas thing we could react to before we're done, Voltaire.
Sure. Men are trash. Slapping myself right now. Not a fan personally, but it is just the first Disney film, and we're already getting a little heat for the whole dwarf debacle. Remember?
Oh boy.
You said no short guys on set, and we complied. Oh, another one just got sent to me here.
I think I watched it once, and then I never picked it up again.
You really just...
Rachel Zegler's agent struggling.
So you're shitting on the property, huh?
Never revisited Snow White again.
We just want people who like Snow White as a kid to come again to Snow White. Okay, imagine we had Fast and Furious 9 coming out, and all the press was telling them how bad Fast and Furious 1
That's great. Yes, that's true. How bad this franchise is kind of stupid, right? What if it's on the press tour? What would Fast and Furious fans do? Right?
Yeah.
What is this 10th movie about cars in the space? This is
the star of the movie saying, "Yeah, I didn't like the other movies. They're pretty crappy stories."
And viewers like this. That's kind of weird.
But I'm in the next one.
Movie about cars, very male-driven cast. Yes. Not a fan. Just watching this one here.
And then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like.
And you are discouraging people from going on the ride.
Was terrible.
This is great. I didn't see this before.
I'm glad you like it. I hoped you would.
Terrified of it.
Are you familiar, Rachel, with how this company makes money? No. Listen, all of the girl power down with men, that stuff plays. We are on board. Feel the exact same way. There's some at the office right now. Dave, fuck you, Dave. Can't stand him. Just another man with a job he probably doesn't even deserve. Tell you what, Rach, gonna do something for you. Dave, you're fired.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed.
Stick it to the fat cat.
I mean, for me, that moment when people were striking and she made it all about herself, that was very unlikable. Because other big actors that are getting the big paychecks that aren't suffering, see, this is about the people that you don't hear about. There's a very small amount that make a lot of money in the movie industry. But then she made it all about herself. I'm in a dress, and I deserve to be paid every hour. And that
I had to cosplay that whole time.
That made it very unlikable. So that was the moment for me personally. That I was like, oh, make it about the people that are really suffering. They can't afford to have health insurance. Not the main stars that get millions and millions of dollars, to be in a Disney remake, which is honestly not that difficult. It's not the most challenging of projects, really. Unless you're doing a lot of singing and dancing, But there's other acting jobs that are a lot more challenging. And just that was cringe to me.
That's on board with all that, but just to maybe the naked eye, someone less trained than yourself, of course, it might come across a little bit like you just hate Snow White. And we were kind of just hoping to give people the impression that you do like Snow White.
Because you're Snow White.
She's the protagonist of this very expensive film.
She's not going to be safe with the prince.
Yes, so smart. But what if we just did a little bit of a one for you, one for us situation? And to be honest with you, after this movie comes out, you're going to have a lot of new followers, especially once it does well, gets over to China, hits those box office numbers. That might be the perfect time, 8 months from now, go on that Snow White was sexist tour, really get that message out there. Might be more potent. No, okay, and she's gone. Okay, we're going to need to get Xi Jinping on the phone. And Dave, bring me my chapstick because I'm about to suck some rod.
I'm going to subscribe to this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Wow, thumbs up that one. All right. Thank you, Voltaire.
I'm glad you liked it.
That was pretty funny. All right. These people need to hey, people get offended by everything.
Come on, Anthony. That was funny. That was all parody.
You can't make people buy tickets to movies. You can't. All right. Let me see if I could find that George Lucas thing. It's really funny. George Lucas reacts to Ahsoka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone did an AI thing. I watched it earlier.
No, you're right. I mean, we don't have to let geeks and gamers decide who are put into movies. And you're right. There is a tendency towards hate, and those channels, sadly, I was actually kind of disappointed by Echo Base Network because even they were crapping on Ahsoka. Not for the reasons geeks and gamers did, but just seems like they're so disillusioned with Star Wars they can't even like that.
I hope this doesn't get me acclaim. Wait, this is hilarious.
Okay.
We'll have to be very transformed. We'll have to stop him.
Yeah.
This is great, though. They used it when he did that interview with the Slavers interview.
Yeah.
They used that. When he Charlie Rose and Charlie Rose is canceled. All right. George, I like that he puts AI voice there right away. So it's easy, all right, here we go. Let me turn up the volume.
What's he looking at? Oh, it's an Imperial Star Destroyer.
That was great.
I like that this destroyer looks like it's on its last leg. The sequels tried saying the First Order was a remnant of the Empire, but it looked like they got newly pristine ships and uniforms.
I agree.
Oh, that's actually really good AI voice. Wow, that really
sounds
like him.
No, I subscribe to this channel. They do good. Don't get claimed. Yeah. I think the worst thing will be claimed. It's not a strike unless I'm showing some hardcore action, Hong Kong action where they take people's heads off and stuff. Thank you, Perp.
Straight out of an iPhone store. You see, these troopers are what a remnant should look like. Whoa, who's this guy? Gold member from the Austin Power movies? Oh, wizard. Here is Timothy.
Oh, wizard. Wizard Annie. Let's see I like the little stuff he puts in here for George.
OG character, Mr. Thrawn. I believe the first book Thrawn appeared in was called Heir to the Empire. Honestly, the only reason why I read the books was because I had the hots for Ms. Mara Jade.
Yes, me too.
Here he is.
Oh, that cover with Mara Jade. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's Thrawn coming in. Let's see what George Lucas thinks about Thrawn.
It's just a dream has become a.
Oh my God! For a second, I thought I was looking at a blue-faced Elon Musk.
It does. I can't get that out of my head now.
No, once you've seen it, yeah.
Hey, looks like the Admiral hasn't been holding back on his full course meals. He's got
George, want room to talk.
What does his daily meals consist of? Non-stop baby back ribs with a side of chicken nuggets? You know, in the books, Thrawn teamed up with an ex-Jedi, I believe, called Joris K. Booth or Caboose. Looks like that's what the Admiral is doing now. It's interesting, Kathleen said there was no source material, but she keeps recycling the stories.
Where's Brucifer?
Kathy. Yeah, this is fake. This is fake. I think they do enough clips and like changing the aspect ratio that it's not going to have an issue. They do pretty good here.
Of the old expanded universe, but just making them worse.
Long ago, you wouldn't.
One thing I don't see from the books is Thrawn having one of those lizard things on his shoulders that repels the Force. I think they were called Yaslamari, or were they called calamari? You know what? He probably did have those lizards, but he just ate them all.
Okay. Well, he's done better. It was all right. That was decent. He's done better ones before, but I like that. It's fun. It's fun.
That's right away. He put that out pretty quick after the episode.
I know. He has it. He has the AI voice saved already. All right. So we'll finish up the mail. Thank you for sticking with Voltaire. We're almost done. Fine, shiver that while your stuff was better. The Rachel Ziegler was superior. I have to say.
This was good too.
Okay. All right. Let me bring this up here. We just covered that. Yeah. So I'm not really looking forward to it. I mean, if it comes out and I hear it's amazing, I might see it. But I'm not right now. It's not on the to-do list to see that movie. So it's been revealed that Chiwetel Ejiofor, role in Venom 3, he could play the character Orwell Taylor. He's, of course, a 90s character that's almost like a bootleg Tony Stark who makes bootleg Iron Man suits. Honestly, I am up for most superhero stuff. Venom 3, I am not going to see.
Oof.
Unless members like vote for it.
I'm
just not, unless the trailer looks amazing. I just don't care after Venom 2.
You know what? Like, after Venom 1, I said, okay, I'll give it a chance. Then when I heard Woody Harrelson's in Venom 2 and he's going to play Carnage, they're not going to mess this up. And my God, that was not a good movie. Like,
no, I didn't like
great
it.
Characters, and they couldn't bring it home. Like,
I'm
done. This needs a reboot, Max. This one needs a reboot.
But they're doing a third one. I think Tom Hardy wants to finish too. I think
It's a shame. They have good casting. He's great, but they
missed the boat on making a universe out of it, and they're pretty much just going to end the series. Let's be real. People go by the trilogy thing. Trilogies sell well on physical media, and like, oh, we did a trilogy of movies.
They probably signed Tom Hardy.
It is asinine for me for Hollywood to like do 2 movies and then stop.
Yeah.
Like you could like Hellboy 3. I know it was expensive, but if you could sell a trilogy of Hellboy movies forever, consistently reissue, why would you not do that?
No, and you know what? Fans soften to it as time goes by, even though even The Godfather, who people crap all over, it's Godfather 3, but as time's gone by.
At least they sell it. They still sell. They can get that price point a little bit higher because there's 3 in there. Like it makes no sense to me to just like cut it off after 2 when you don't have to do a trilogy, but it makes some money sense to me, and then give some type of finality in the end of the trilogy and then the third movie. Even if you're not like, well, we're not just, and then market it on this is the final one. Right. And then if it succeeds, then make a 4th one, but just say this is the final one. That's great marketing. It makes me irk that they do this with so many properties. Like, Hellboy 3 is going to be expensive, but then you market it that way. This is going to be the end for the Hellboy series. Guillermo del Toro, we trust in him. He's an amazing filmmaker. You show confidence, and people can maybe respond to that confidence. We're very happy with the first Hellboy 2, the first 2 Hellboy movies. We're going to give him a chance to finish the series on a high note. That would have been so great.
They're paying Tom Hardy $20 million for this movie.
Venom 2. Oh wow, I don't want to. Like, I'm not like, people like it and they want to see it good. I'm not against them making it. I'm not interested. And they missed the boat on the opportunities to branch out into a franchise and have them go against Spider-Man. We still don't have a great, although I like Spider-Man 3. It's not great, but I like it. There still was Venom versus Spider-Man, I don't get it. What don't I get, Senior Nerd? I see all that money being left on the table. It doesn't make sense to me. All these, if I'm a streamer or I'm in charge of these companies and I have all these IPs and I want to, like Zaslav says, we can license this stuff to other streamers. You can license Hellboy Trilogy to streamers or re-release it on physical media special editions. Oh, we got Guillermo del Toro to go into his vault to do some special features on this extremely special edition. Now it's just cut off, I don't know what I don't get. It's money on the table to me. I love capitalism. It just does not make sense to me. And then you have an evergreen product. Zack Snyder stuff is an evergreen product, consistently reissued. Sorry, I'm on a tangent. Max, do you know that there is all of a sudden a disease found in dogs? And now it's started to, why are you telling me this? To spread to their owners called B. canis? Canis? What is that?
B. canis. I'm not familiar.
So if you better check your pet to the vet before it's too late.
Jeez.
Ow, you hurt my ears, Voltaire.
Sorry about that.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Humans, that's news to me. Yeah.
All right. Thoughts on NetherRealm Studios? Ed Boon said that the Nintendo Switch version will absolutely be getting an update. People are giving them absolute hate for still putting on the Switch. It's not NetherRealm's fault that the Switch is underpowered. It's not. It's another version. The only issue I have with NetherRealm is charging $70 for it. If it's an inferior version, they should be charging like $50 or $40. It shouldn't be a premium cost. Everyone's been complaining about it's like a handheld version. It's also a handheld version. It's not going to be as good as quality. I know, CJH. We'll get to them. It seems that James Wan hinted that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom would heavily lead to a third film with a big cliffhanger at the end of the second movie. But if this could be true, it's going to be really awkward knowing that DC is basically a dead husk, and we're not going to see any continuation from this character universe again. So are you bummed, or don't you give a damn about the Fishman? Your thoughts? I think they should make one. I just don't know if it's going to happen. And it's very confusing. And just like I said before, Aquaman trilogy with James Wan, but James Wan might not want to do a third, though. That would be the other caveat, is maybe they don't want to do a third without James Wan, because I heard he might not want to do the third one.
So do you think James Gunn would let them finish it with this cliffhanger and tie him?
I don't think James Gunn gives an F if he didn't do it himself. That's the problem I have with James Gunn. I don't think he gives any F's if he doesn't, his name's not on it. and it has any. I don't think he cares if it gets continued or not. If it wasn't his idea.
Yeah, but how?
I think that's sad. I think that's sad not to care about other things that your company's doing or did. I don't think he cares.
I mean, look, he's embracing the reboot, but I just don't believe he'd let them put a cliffhanger in it because then it kind of obligates him.
It's far for the course with what they have so many cliffhangers of unresolved threads of just teasing other stuff. It's just another, I know I have not. I should. Okay. CGH Entertainment. What's a game franchise that either doesn't exist yet or has potential that they haven't bothered to develop, or even a game idea that has potential? Actually answer all three of these questions. A game franchise that doesn't exist yet? How do I know that? Okay. I think one of the strengths of NetherRealm is their guest characters. I think they should have a franchise with all guest characters like Fortnite and just consistently bring in guest characters and have NetherRealm go wild. Not necessarily be bogged down by Mortal Kombat with the extreme violence. I like that. But that's another strength of Ed Boon. So I would say for example, he's done a lot of action movie guest characters in Mortal Kombat games. Do you come up with a great name for the series? Action movie fighter. And just have all, and then get John Wick 2, have all the Arnold movies. I think that would be amazing.
If they could get the rights, that would be a great game.
Yeah. And I think it does have huge potential. Just like Fortnite or like Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers has guest characters from everything. Why can't another game developer figure that out? That people love it. They love the crossover appeal of all these IP converging. And the only thing that's stopping NetherRealm is the violence. Is not everyone wants their characters to get spines ripped and everything. And haven't bothered to develop. I think why they haven't done it is IPs are hard. Ed Boon specifically has tried to do different things, but he's getting some IP is pretty difficult. And it changes. Like, for instance, Ash from the Evil Dead series is very hard to license in something that's not his own game for some reason as a guest character. He's tried so many times to get Ash. He's gone on record. Really? And John Wick is too. For some reason, the property owners of John Wick are very strict with where John Wick appears. And he would be perfect. John Wick would be perfect for this game. Although, if you have John Wick in there and him getting a fatality on him, that would seem him less effective, though. So that might hurt his character image. I don't know, because he never dies. You haven't really seen John Wick die on screen yet, and you would if he was in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
So that's probably an issue.
There's no John Wick game, is there?
There's like some games that are not very well fleshed out, not really great, not AAA.
Okay, I'm surprised.
All right. And CJH, why do you think people can't accept continuation in other forms such as comic books or video games? It worked for Star Wars. Why not other franchises? So maybe you could continue movie franchises like Harry Potter or Snyderverse on a video game. I would love that. I would love to say, hey, Zack Snyder, we're not going to give you any movie, but use Warner Brothers Games Studio to complete the Snyderverse there, and then you don't have to pay Cavill. You could just use a Superman that's similar to Cavill, not his likeness, and just finish the story there. I'll be honest, I'd still be like, man, that sucks because we didn't get to see the Henry Cavill finish or Ben Affleck, but it's something, and I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's refresh and then get the quote of the day, and I think we're done here. Let me see. So, oh, wow. Oh, only two more. What if Wolverine Deadpool 3 is from the universe from Doctor Strange 2 where Scarlet Witch killed Xavier? That would be cool. I think that's very plausible. Like, I don't know if it's our Wolverine that we're going to get for that we've known, I think it's very. What's that?
I don't think it is, just based on the costume leaks, right?
Yeah, I think it's a different multiverse Wolverine, and I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the rumor that Secret Wars ends MCU and maybe introduces a universe with the X-Men, and maybe in doing so creates Galactus? In the comics, he was the last survivor of the previous universe. I don't know how I feel about a reboot. Just like I said before, as long as they conclude it in some way, I guess I'll accept it. I would like them to just continue, but I think the MCU, if they actually do a reboot, that they're going to conclude what happened first, not just end it and do a reboot like DC. That's my guess. You know, I don't think they're just going to end storylines and just like, okay, it's a reboot. They're going to actually lead you that way through storytelling, is my guess.
You think so? I think they're going to just pick one character, put him in the new multiverse and say, hey, this is a different universe.
All right. I hope you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the MCU, even though they've had some issues lately, that they're going to lead you that way with storytelling. And it's going to get there if they do eventually do a reboot. All right, where is the quote of the day? All right, quote of the day 115. The only way out is through containment. Make your choice to adventure on furthermore and strike the bell and bide the danger, or wonder till it drives you mad of what would have followed you if you had. Okay. Hey, Max, I hope you're having a good stream tonight. And seeing the strike being somewhat persist, I was wondering, what do you mean stories aren't being finished? I mean, they give all these teases of future things to come, and it's really just to get your money. They don't really have a plan, and they just end things. And all these great shows on TV, when the numbers start to slide, instead of saying, well, let's adapt, let's course correct what we were going to do. We were going to do 5 seasons. After the second season, our numbers dropped. Let's just finish a shortened season 3 to give some type of conclusion. That's what I would do. Not the full, like the many episodes of season 2. Let's find a way to end this in season 3 so we have a nice little package to consistently license out. Maybe some people will find this in the future. It can consistently earn some money, and it's not just vaporware. Like, if stuff just ends, why? Like, have you ever had a show that you're like, oh, I'm going to watch that, and you find out it was canceled? Like, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
Do you see that as an issue? That's my main issue. I'm like, why am I going to watch this? It's canceled.
Well, I mean, look at what's happening with The Witcher, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's watching The Witcher, and nobody's going to watch The Witcher.
I started to watch it. I was bored, honestly, and I want to go back and watch it, but I'm forcing myself to.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I mean. They're not being fit. They're just abandoned and then forgotten. And then it's like vaporware. It's like worthless. It's not worthless, but it's just like, why? Like, even when you want to sell physical media, go buy the season 1 and 2 of this show. Why? I can't buy a story ending season 3. Like, well, this makes no sense to me. And this is consistently what the industry does. But I get the message why it needs to end things so things compress. I'm not saying they have to do full season orders for shows that aren't doing well. I'm saying adjust and finish it in some form. And that could be hard to do a satisfying ending, but you should at least try. You know, even like the Sarah Connor Chronicles, it was a really good show. End of season 2, it kind of had like a weird cliffhanger. I have to go watch it again. And we couldn't. Amazing if they would have come back for season 3 and like wrapped it up a little bit more. You know. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's even be more prevalent because of the strike. Things are just going to be like, well, we're not going back to that. I think it's just going to get worse. That's my thoughts. Thank you for sticking to the end with me, Voltaire. I appreciate you, viewers. We got 12 viewers to the end. That means we're entertaining. At least we kept the viewership. Hope everyone has a great night. Tomorrow night, there's not going to be a regular MME because I'm going to see Expendables at like 7 at night. I'm taking my nap first, and I'm going to see a movie. Maybe I might do an MME bonus episode. I don't know. We'll see how I feel.
Or an out of theater reaction.
Yeah, I want to do another out of theater reaction. It's going to be dark when I get out though, but I'll do it in the car with the light on, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to just seeing a dumb action movie. I thought that's what the Meg 2 was going to be. I hated the Meg 2.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Expendables 4 is tomorrow, and then next week, The Creator. Oh, and I finally got to play the intro or outro. I always forget. Hold on a second. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.